Hello, man. Just waiting for it to come up. See what's happening here. I guess it sounds a little bit low, but I can deal with it. Let me see. Yeah. I don't know. Hello, man. Hello, Mgtow. Go your own way. Go your own way, Mgtow. Go your own way. What's it like to be at Mgtow? What's it like when you're first coming in, Mgtow? That's the hard part. That's the big question. Sometimes we all forget what it was like back in the day when we came back in. We came in to Mgtow. We were looking for some answers, and there was no answers anywhere to be found. It was Mgtow was just doing some things, and I equated once a long time ago. Long time ago when Mgtow was just starting up, I remember talking to Angry Harry. We were on a blog, and there was about 4 or 5 of us, and we were shooting the shit, and Angry was there, and he was an insufferable. Yeah, he was my hero when I first heard Angry Harry on the radio, the BBC half-hour special. They talked over him for 25 minutes. They gave him 5 minutes so he can do his spiel, and then they put him off the air. The BBC drowned him out, and then they talked about him like a dog for 4 hours. But Angry Harry was he was a good guy, and he was around at the beginning, and he was there for talking about men's rights and all the things that were going wrong long before anybody else was. First guy I ever heard to say that. But he said, Mgtow, this new thing. He said this new thing because there wasn't a name to it, and there wasn't this name that we had labeled it on. And this new thing, he says, like, men are driving home with one headlight, and knowing a million things can go wrong. There's a million things that can go wrong while you're driving home with one headlight. You might be a little tipsy. You might be a little drunk. Cop can pull you over at any minute. You're going to get hit with another ticket. You don't need that in your life because you're all beat up and you're driving home with one headlight and just praying, man, that you get there. And then all of a sudden you coast right into the driveway. While you're doing it, you turn off the engine and turn off the the other headlight and just kind of coast on up and lean back. Oh, man. Let out that. It's like, fuck, I'm home. It's that feeling, man. It's that feeling we all had when we first coasted into Mgtow with one headlight. Mgtow gives us the fix. You can get out of your car the next morning. You can sleep in your car like I did a few times, or you can get out, get in, get a night's sleep, wake up the next morning, go to the auto parts store and fix that problem so you don't have to go through that anymore, worrying, all that worry and all that stress, man, all that stress, everything that's been laid on your back for a million years here, and you feel like, man, you feel all beat up, and then you find the Mgtow. Then you find the Mgtow, and it's just like that. It's like fixing that one headlight. It's like that one problem you got to fix, and then you're safe again. That's what being a Mgtow is like. You're safe again. You can go home. You're safe again, like a boss. You can do this. You can do this like a TFL and complain about that headlight and try it again. Keep driving around. You can do it like an Incel, and man, just drive around until you're so hit and beat up that you don't know what to do, or you can drive it into the Mgtow driveway and fix it, turn on those headlights, and there it is, man. Life is illuminated in front of you. It's all illuminated, and for you, it's safe passage. My friend Joey Milk Apple says Mgtow's like having pocket aces, and everybody else at the table's got you don't know what they got, but they ain't got pocket aces. Mgtow is your pocket aces. It's like knowing what's going to happen before time. It's like keeping yourself safe. It's like It's like having an angel on your back, man. It's like having two headlights in front of you and knowing you can see the road perfectly, you know. I guess that's the red pill. You start seeing those red pills and the things that keep you safe and keep you safe from damage and harm in life. And that's what Mgtow is. Mgtow is like keeping you safe from all that damage and all that harm in life. And you truly do. You got pocket aces after that, and you're coming on in. But there's a lot of things to fix, man. All of us came in all beat up. The road was rocky. Maybe it was a dirt road. You didn't have nothing left. You barely had a car. They had taken everything else. For a lot of men. They had taken your pride. They had taken everything you had. Some of us went through nasty divorce. They had taken your house, your kids. Everything. They take everything if they can. Hello, WSC. Yeah, but you're driving up with one headlight and hoping not another thing. That one other thing, man, that could have went wrong would have broke your back. You would have broke your back, some of us. And wow, we didn't need that in our life. We didn't need that one last thing to happen, you know. It's a reprieve. Angry Harry gave me a reprieve back in, and I didn't understand what he was talking about, this new thing that was coming around. I went and I searched, and somewhere around 2004, Paco put his Mgtow, Mgtow.com up, the first Mgtow.com up, and we talked about, you know, what Mgtow was and what we were. And back then there was there's just a few magazines. The Spearhead was around where all the men talked and got the most flack. He was carrying 100,000 plus at that time. Pierce, W.C. Pierce. I revere W.C. Pierce. He was one of the first good guys that helped me out but we're all broken and beat up, and maybe you got a flat tire and you've got one headlight. You hit something, you have no idea what you hit, and you're coasting in your driveway with all the lights off and trying not to be heard by the neighbors. Yeah, but Mgtow's a quick fix. I remember 5-6 years later, man, everything's better in my life. And I took on a Mgtow attitude. I took on the Mgtow name, you know, tried to preach Mgtow, how it went and everything. And but the philosophy of Mgtow: keep yourself risk. Don't keep yourself from risk. Don't be playing with the girls. Them things bite. You know that they bite. Them things bite. They have teeth. You know that they have cooties. You know that the things you will do, the money you will save, the things will fix itself in no time if you just give it an honest chance. I see the TFLers nowadays. Hey, Eddie, lots of us outside. Eddie Lukey, I love my brother Eddie Lukey. There's Robert Smith. And there's Eddie. Hello, Eddie. There's a lot of guys. We come in, we're all broken up and everything, and Mgtow gives you these ways to do it. You know, it gives you a philosophy. Existentialism comes in your life, and you start, man, I'm skeptical about that. I'm skeptical about what you're saying about those women. I don't think they're Cinderella. Man, I don't think they have teeth. I found out they've got a bite mark right here. The law carries most of its teeth for them, that by proxy teeth, the law. Yeah. You have a baby, then you're in real trouble. And a lot of things can go wrong at that point in your life. I see men either commit suicide or they live in this utter poverty in a one room for years. And we see the stories of the millionaires just breezing by this thing. Millionaires, they just breeze by this thing. But man, money affords you that luxury of losing like that. We see, what's the guy from Amazon right now? Lost $136 billion or something to his wife in a divorce settlement. Couldn't imagine that couldn't imagine $1 billion. Most of us are just normal guys. That guy, he would never become Mgtow. He never felt the sting of it. He never felt the pain of it. He never learned anything from that. He'll probably go back and do it again. Oh man, Charlie Brown, try holding that ball again. Maybe he's a smart guy. Maybe he'll even back some of us Mgtows. I can't remember that cat's name. I buy Amazon almost every week, but I'm part of his money he gets from me every week. I owe him a lot too for my Amazon credit card, but but I don't know, man. Mgtow's tough at first, and sometimes we forget that as producers, how tough Mgtow was for us at first, and how hard we were beaten up, and how confusing it was for men coming in, and they don't know the ins and outs of all the. Hello, Steve. Most men nowadays are just Mgtow by choice, but some are. Some are. There's Steve Hoka. Most men nowadays are not Mgtow by choice. There's a lot of incel Mgtows, and that's some of the problems you got to deal with. Take that deep introspection down inside yourself and figure out what you are, what makes you happy, and then do that instead of doing this thing over here that chasing the women and trying to make them validate your existence. There ain't no happiness in that. We know that. All of us Mgtow know that now. I was out this morning, 50 degrees in Cleveland, Steve, 50 degrees, 51, 52, 53, whatever it was today. I took my mountain bike and went down to the hills, and I started coming down it was wet and everything. I started coming down the drop in, and I dropped in and started pedaling a lot, pedaled a little morning, bad knee, old man and all. And then I was trying to figure out where I was going to put my jumps for the next season. I got to bring a shovel down there. But them are the things that make me happy. Them are the things that give me courage. Them are the things them things you can't replace, courage and happiness. Put those two things together, and you don't care what anybody is or what anybody thinks in this whole world. Nobody really matters. Nobody really matters at that point. It's just whatever you love in this world. And Mgtow starts giving you the opportunity to find that deep down inside of yourself. Man, if you ain't never took a mountain bike down a hill and risked tempted fate, man, that feeling when you're all air. I tried to table one the other day. I came out of this. I hit the jump and I tried to table it and I went, whoop. They were like laughing. Oh, gee, old man, old guy. He just, says, yeah, let me see you guys try it. No. I said, yeah, it takes courage. It takes courage to get it in the air. And if you falling's a part of driving a bike. And that's a good lesson too there. A good Mgtow lesson is if you're going to ride that woman bike out there, falling's going to be a part of it. You better know the risk and learn how to fall. I was thinking about that one today, learning how to fall. We all got to learn how to fall today in life. Falling's hard. And sometimes if you don't know how to fall, you're going to get yourself racked up. You don't put your arm out and go. You just kind of tuck under and got to go with it. Kind of go with it because, well, that's the only thing you can do is go with your fall once in a while, and that's part of being a Mgtow. I put the Streamlab thing in there if anybody wants to come in and talk on this Friday night. I'm just sitting here having a ginger and beautiful ginger ale. You can tell I'm a little disheveled from my bike ride. People are going to tell you're crazy for doing that. They tell me all the time, old man, you can't do that. What are you doing, old man? Do what I want. Do what makes me feel good. Where you find your courage at life. That's where you're going to find it. In Mgtow, you're going to find a lot of courage. It takes a lot of courage. Like Steve, when we were, man, back in the day, when you come on this thing and we're talking, it took a lot of courage to get out there and start talking about this thing, about what was going wrong with gender dynamics. Not a lot of men will do that. Not a lot of men want to put their face out there. Not a lot of men can articulate things correctly. Barbarossa, man, what a speaker. He had courage, but he never put his face out there. Stardust, what a speaker. What an orator Barbarossa was. He was a great orator. I asked him one day, I said, Bar, how'd you get that? How did you get that style? And I said, did you read the book, The Orator, or did you practice? And he says, yeah. He says, I practice it. And it just was natural for me. It's like The Orator. The Orator was a book in the Civil War. If you haven't read it, it teaches you how to oratate things. But them guys came around, and man, it was great. Mgtow's heyday. We started articulating what we wanted. Got a whole new crew and got yelled at a lot. I got called gay. I got called gay a lot. I got called names. Barbarossa got called names too, and Stardust got called names. Everybody that was around at that time, that's the first thing they would do. You FAGATOT, you just don't want to pay your child support. That's what they say to us. You're a bum. You're a deadbeat dad. Those things don't work anymore. We got the shaming. Yeah, that's where, man, that's all they do. That's where the shaming came up. That's all they do, man. They just throw shaming comments at us instead of asking us what was that thing that you seen that was wrong with society? What was that thing that you seen, man? I said, haven't you seen it? The divorce court system, being a slave, you missed that part. That's funny for most of the guys we come in. You just missed that, huh? You just missed that part about men being slaves and debtor's prison, and how they can just disregard. When you take the oath as being a police officer, right, Joe? They're gonna uphold, or a soldier, or a politician. We're gonna uphold that Constitution, and then the first thing they do is break it, break it to pieces, and say, well, we need these slave men. These men are slaves, and they got to have them, and we got to put them in our society, and we got to get them divorced, and we got to run them through the divorce court system, and then because we ain't paying for the baby mamas, because them women's, they got no agency. And I was like, whoa, didn't feminism start in the 1960s, and that's what that was for, is to give them agency, get them all jobs, bust through that glass ceiling? Yeah. Yeah, it's been a little slow, hasn't it? It's been a little slow. That's why I say I support feminism 100%, because that's why they're going to make you a slave. Because the traditionalites, the conservatives, the tradcons believe that they ain't got no agency. They need you. They need you, man. That's ridiculous. They don't need you anymore. And that's the problem. That's what happens in Mgtow. Somehow they need you. Somehow all these guys are running around, these chads. They're all running around like, man, I can't understand why the women don't need me anymore. They don't need you. They got Uncle Sam. Sexual crypsis fulfilled itself. She wants support from the whole community. And that's what she got. That's what Health and Human Services is for. Give her support that they always wanted from the whole community. That's every man. Every man's pre-cucked. Every man pays into that. Why don't they need you? Well, that's not going to change. Yeah, Mgtow feminism started long before 1920. It was actually Mary Wollstonecraft in 17. Mary with the book Mary. She came before the English Congress of that time, whatever it was. The book Mary Wollstonecraft in 17. That's first time. Now, the first time we heard about it in probably about 1919, there was a big feminist movement, and then there was a big feminist movement before that, or else you wouldn't have heard about it. Between the Reconstruction, that's a lot of the Reconstruction was about. But yeah, but actually Mary Wollstonecraft, 1754 or something like that. But we're not going to argue about those things. Yeah, North America didn't exist then. That's funny. Yeah, it didn't. But yeah, so we go through this Mgtow thing, and we're all beat up, and we come in here, but we find ways in here. We find good things to talk about doing the deep introspection, cleaning up your side of the street, not sitting in that muck that you've made and created in your life, and all that muck that you made and created come from that filthy bad thinking. That bad thinking that women were angels. That you're going to live in this Disney Pixar life. You're going to make that final fictionalism come through. You're gonna do that, and it's like every psychiatrist is like applauding you. Man, you're doing it all right. And like me, I found out I did everything right, and everything went wrong. How did I do everything right? A true, and everything went wrong. Them are the questions we got. What went wrong? Fatherhood was fake. A judge took it away, like that, with a swipe of a pen. With the swipe of a pen, a judge took that away. If fatherhood was real, like they say it is, we're having a baby. No, we're not having a baby. She's having a baby. It's her responsibility 100%. And fatherhood will be taken away like that with a swipe of a pen. If fatherhood was real, that's what I say. Get your brain on straight. Come correct on this thing. We figure out things like that. We figure out what sexual crypsis is, why she hides her fertility. She wants support from the whole world. She wants support from every guy. She wants every guy to think they're daddy. And that's what she gets with Health and Human Services. You ain't going to beat that thing. That's nature. That's nature. That's female nature. You ain't going to beat that thing. We got all these guys running around, the traditionalites, the trad cons, and Mgtow. The thing we hated the worst has saturated, is oozed itself in the Mgtow. Them traditionalites. Trad cons, they want to go back to the 50s. They don't think sexual cryptis is real. They don't think the biology of a female is real. They want to take away Health and Human Services. Idiots. The traditional conservatives, the worst thing that happened. That's the guy that thinks he's going to fix it. You ain't going to fix that. Ain't enough duct tape in the world to fix that. Ain't enough duct tape in the world to fix that. I'll say it 3 times. Ain't enough duct tape in the world to fix that problem. Yeah, so that becomes the truth. And you were never a father. You never intended to be a father. You were just a Pator from the German, Pedor. That's where the word father from the Latin, it means the responsible party. I like to use the German because it's Pator. It's payer terminal. You're a payer terminal. You're the responsible party, the payer terminal. That's all you are. You're the slave, because that clearly articulates what a father is nowadays, or what they think a father is. They say, oh, no, it's just like mother. No, mother, she had a baby. Baby came out from her. The judge would go, that ain't your baby. Everybody go, I'm the mother. That's my baby. That would be a ridiculous statement. That would be a ridiculous statement saying, oh, that didn't come out of you? That's the absurdity of fatherness. They wanted to remove the word father from Health and Human Services guides. I was like, finally, someone got it. Finally, someone gets it. And they never did it because the men's rights and the feminists go, no, you can't do that. You can't remove the fake word from Health and Human Services. And they had a fit, so they left it in. And I said, well, just write it like it is. You're a slave. You're the responsible party. You're the payer. She's the payee. She gets to pay. You're the payor. You're the slave. And then, the definition of slavery, they say at the bottom of every health and humus report, is the definition of slavery is when one person makes money and has to give it to another person. One person's working for no money, essentially. You're really working for no money, and it's taken before you get it. The actual law was you had to give it 2 days in a bank account. You had to drop it in a bank account for 2 days, and then they had the right to take it after you. If you neglected it for 2 days and you didn't need it, the actual beginning laws to that were, and that's the actual law. That's the actual law of our land. You have to drop it into it, and if it disappears out of the bank account, obviously you needed it in 2 days. But if you didn't use it within 2 days, they could then seize it. But that doesn't work anymore. Traditionalism gives us that thing, and but I don't want to stay on it. I want to say about the cure. The cure to all this is getting a Mgtow mindset, realizing that you're driving home with one headlight. some jackwad busted your headlight in the parking lot. You don't know you have it, and there's 600 ways for that thing to go sideways. And you got to coast it into your yard. What do you do after that? What do you do after that? You become a Mgtow. You start taking those introspections. You start looking at life very, very realistically. You take all that risk out of everything, and you say, you keep it over there. You PUAs can keep it over there. You MRAs can keep it all over there. Take on all that risk. Go get one of those. Matter of fact, you can have two. You can have mine. They love it. They'll take that too. Incels will take one. The beta male will take that old one, that used up one, and he'll become the provider. And then you're a slave to the beta male then too. Everybody doesn't understand that. Everybody thinks, oh man, the women, they go get the beta males and make them slave. No, the women's want the alpha males. They want those good genes. They want a good, strong slave, and then they get a beta. So the Chad thing doesn't quite work out in linearly. The Chad thing doesn't quite work out. Most of the Chads will become slaves. Most of the Chads will become those guys. They're going to have those babies, and then they're going to say, pay up, man. Pay up. You're now a father. You know what that means? You're the responsible party. That's why you see so many Chads running around out there like that. The bad boy. Well, he's a bad boy for a reason, and he lives in his car for a reason, or he rides around on a motorcycle for a reason because he can't afford a house, because he's paying child support for 100 kids or so. Man, that kind of thinking. I see all kinds of weird thinking around here. Weird thinking in Mgtow. It either linearly, it doesn't add up. One thing precedes the other. That's the fallacy of time, I guess. One thing doesn't precede the other. A cart before the horse. But Mgtow makes sense. I'm living proof of it. Turn me over. I was done, man. If I didn't have something to fight for in my life, that was the point. When I rolled up into no driveway with one headlight all beat up, bleeding, I had a bloody mouth, half drunk, half out of my mind. There was only up to go from there. And the best place to go up, I swear to God, is get with a few Mgtow brothers that care about you. Mgtow's, get with your brother, talk to him, let him bring you back up. Trust your brothers. Don't trust another woman in that, because they'll just drag you back down. Had to learn that a few times after. I was still playing, the split. The Holy Grail, the split V. There's a Holy Grail. That's Maslow's hierarchy. That tip of the split V. That's where we're looking for the Holy Grail of that. I was still looking for that for a long time. Maslow's hierarchy. So I was going to self-actualize through getting a woman. Family relationships. That's what you have to do. What a jackass Maslow was. He's a jackass. Finding yourself, introspection, who you are. That is the gold right there. There's the pocket aces. There's that other headlight. That's what's going to illuminate your world, man. Take it from an old hippie, man. That's going to illuminate your world. And keep it on the road. Keep it between the lines. Woo. Woo. Doing okay is better than doing bad. Any day of the week. Any day of the week. Gaming board. No, you ain't. No, you aren't. Yeah, I should jump in the stream with Trav. Yeah, anybody. I put the thing up. Anybody want to come in? We could talk about. We could talk about anything. Anything anybody wants to talk about. I'll put the. I put the StreamYard. You got to have StreamYard. Come on in. I'll talk to anybody. Nobody ever comes in, and Rick C comes in once in a while. I like talking to Rick C and Whiskers. Hello, fellas. I like talking to my buddy Whiskers and Rick C. Or yeah, is that Rick C? Rob C. And that's about it anymore. No one else wants to come in, but. Man, we're just talking about the beginnings, your humble beginnings in Mgtow, and we forget a lot about the guys that are coming in, and man, they are beat up, and they want to believe things that aren't real, and they want to believe they want that final fictionalism back. They can give themselves a goal. That's what objectivism is about. You give yourself a goal. That John Galt, that guy, he owns the copper mine in the Fountainhead or whatever one that one was, and he's that perfect male, and you can aspire to be him, or Jesus. You can aspire to be him, but you can't. You can never aspire to be a billionaire because you're a poor boy that's paying child support. You're a slave. Slaves don't get to be millionaires, and that's what we're saying. You're a slave, and slaves don't get to be billionaires. Why? Because you're a slave, man. You could try hard. I found out in life that you could try real hard. I was almost there. I almost cut through that glass ceiling. I almost got there. Then I realized that I was a poor Irish boy, and they were never going to let me in their group. And that's real in life. That's your destination. That's you were born to it. I see that with TFL too. I see that with Incel too. I can empathize with them because man, I was born a poor Irish kid. They weren't going to let me in that group. I know you were born something too. We all got defects from our birth, and you didn't get the good looks. You didn't get all the brains. So what? Get all the brains. Man, work on your look. Start working out. At least be happy while you're doing it. That's what we say. Try to be happy while you're doing this thing. Man, as soon as you get in Mgtow, you got pocket aces. A lot of things start working out better. You got a better train of thought. You're mentally clearer. You want to get 20 IQ points? You want to put 20 IQ points on? Go Mgtow. Go Mgtow. You get 20 IQ points. That's free. It's a bonus gift from Mgtow. The 20 IQ points is a bonus gift from Mgtow. That's the gift we give. These helping hands gave you 20 IQ points. When you became a Mgtow, stop searching for Maslow's hierarchy in the form of a split V. That shit don't make no sense. That's absurdity. That's why I push Camus all day long, because he says, man, that's absurdity. And we look around here and we got the theater of the absurd with the incels, the TFLers, and the the guy is still searching for that, you're saying, no, man, don't search for that. Because Steve Hoka is right. If that's meant to be, that'll come to you. All you got to do is sit down, start reading the paper with a cup of coffee, and that'll come to you. Go to a public space. If she likes you, she will let you know. Steve Hoka knows that. And he says that. That's been every encounter that I've ever had in my life. Everybody likes to think, oh man, you're the peacock in PUA. No, all you got to do is sit down and be original, be interesting, and she will let you know. And if that's not in the works that day, you finish your cup of coffee, you fold up that paper, and you move the F along, and you try to be happy for the rest of the 23 hours of the day. And so, man, I couldn't pick up that girl. Boo hoo. Jesus, what a bunch of little whiners. I hate whiners. Move along and try to do something good in your world, and find the courage in your life to be courageous and honest and good. Because that's where you'll find your happiness. That's where you'll find a lot of happiness. And grow yourself a beard. The beard is the secondary sexual characteristic of the male. Why would you want to cut that off? Yeah. Somebody said, oh, women don't like beards. I was like, dude, the beard is a secondary sexual characteristic of a male. Didn't you hear what I said? Women dig beards. They love beards. It's about being a man. They'll say, oh, it feels funny. but it isn't, man. If you ask another dude, they'll tell you a beard. If a beard's man, because he's not supposed to find you attractive. If any dude looks at me and finds me attractive, I probably will hit him. I don't want that. I'm not that type. You're not my type. Jesus Christ. I see that all the time in Mgtow too. Men judging other men. No, man, you're not supposed to find another dude attractive. You're supposed to say, that's the most disgusting thing that I've ever seen in my life. We got RP in this stream, so I'll add him.
212.
Hello, RP. I have to find my headsets now, wherever those may be.
I'm trying this out for the first time too. It's the first time actually doing
on StreamYard.
Yeah, first time, because I signed up for it. I never actually tried anything on it.
Okay. Yeah, it's easy. Oh man! Wow.
Only problem is I can't see any chat anymore.
I put you in the chat. Let me check on YouTube. I can see you. Let me go live. Yeah, you're in. I can hear you fine. How you doing today, RP?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. Did a little bit of work, did a little bit of sleep, and then did a little bit of drinking.
Yeah, that's good. It's Friday night. It's supposed to be. We're supposed to be wild. Get out there and sow your oats and, be you're a young man. And
not sow your oats. I'm not going to do that anymore.
You're not going to do that anymore? No sowing your oats?
I'm not going to try.
Yeah. I took the mountain bike out this morning and I hit the slope. I did a little dropping in.
You rode in this weather?
Yeah, I rode in.
Actually, it was pretty nice weather today too.
Yeah, it was 50 degrees. That's beautiful for riding. All you need is a light coat, and it doesn't hinder you a lot. You can wear loose jeans then too when it's not too cold. And then you got to,
some gloves and whatnot.
Yeah,
and, you're doing okay.
I got my gloves, and I wanted to go mark my dig spots for the next year where I was going to put a little bit of gaps in, and and I want the kids to start helping. As soon as I put a gap in, the kids will show up.
Yeah. It's like if you build it, they'll come.
Yeah, if you build it, they'll come. And then I'm gonna put a big sign up next to the first gap. If you no dig, no ride. because they won't let us have bike paths here. They're like, the kids are going to get hurt. It's like, no, the kids are going to have a freaking blast.
Okay, you know how ridiculous that is, right?
Yeah.
Because like kids are going to get hurt anyways. It's just like walking down the streets, kids are going to get hurt.
Yeah, kids are going to get hurt anyways. Kids are going to play. They're going to get hurt on their bikes anyways. Would you rather a kid fall in some dirt or fall on the cement street? That's what mothers, It's like, man, let them have fun. And the good ones, they learn things from that. They learn no dig, no ride. You got to work. You got to work for something you want, and they learn courage. It's like first time you take that gap.
Put in the effort, and like you get something out of it.
Mm-hmm. You get all that enjoyment. Yeah, I'll put a ninny board in for somebody if you want a ninny board. Yeah, I'll put the ninny board in for you got to learn. Man, did I tell you about my first time riding up to a drop-in?
I don't think I remember.
Oh man, I rode up and the hill was like, you could get about 8 feet in the air, and then the hill was like at least 30 feet down. And then there was a big drop in from the platform next to it where you kind of went sideways and kind of you did a little table and kind of grabbed. And I rode up to it. My son he just boom right over. I rode up and 4 brakes almost went over the bar. I was like, no. I was so scared. I never told him. I went back there every day for like a month, and I rode up to that thing 100 times and couldn't find the courage to go over. Finally, one day I just went over. I was in the air. I was like, woo, it wasn't so bad. I bottomed out my fork.
Yeah, because although it's not as extreme as that, but like in my area, the same place I grew up in my high school days. In the park here, we had this like makeshift circuit, bike circuit.
Yeah.
In the park.
Yeah, you're Canadian. Canadians have them everywhere, don't you?
Yeah, and at one point of the circuit, like it pretty much goes like a figure 8 almost, right?
Yeah.
And at one point there was a jump to it. And the thing is as long as you keep everything under control, keep relaxed, you know what? You're not gonna have any problems. It's like you just come down, get ready for that jump, and make that jump. It's not a huge jump. Maybe you go off like 1 meter in the air. Like as long as you're in control, as long as you're calm, you can make it.
Yeah,
right?
Don't get out of control. That's the thing. Scared people do scared things.
I seen one of my friends. He took the approach all wrong. I don't know what was going through his head, but I knew before he even made the jump, I knew he wasn't going to land it.
He was going to case it.
And it's funny to laugh at, right?
Yeah.
Because of course he never got seriously hurt.
Yeah, that's it's like that's going to cost him a tire.
Yeah, but he landed wrong.
Yeah.
He bounced off the bike and he ended up flipping off the bike. But he was okay, right?
Did he jump up and go woo?
No, if he did that, that would have been amazing.
That would have been amazing. Yeah, sometimes you fall. Everybody's going to fall. I fell like twice in the last month. I tried to bunny hop a curb, and I caught the curb and went over, and then I come out and tried to table it a little off of showing off in front of the guy, the drug boys in front of the store. I hit the ramp there, and then I realized that you can't table sideways and land. And Fabio Wilmer showed me this because he screwed it up once too, and then I was whoop slid across the cement. But man, you're gonna fall.
Just like that video that you shared in one channel, with that guy doing the bike bike tricks in the gym.
Wilmer. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that guy. Okay. I couldn't remember his name. I'm sorry. I'm getting old as well.
Yeah.
And so like what he was doing a lot of impressive stuff. It's like very skilled work with a bike.
Yeah.
But even at the end of that video that you shared with us,
mm-hmm.
like, there were some bloopers where like he was practicing it, and like, you know what, he didn't get it right. And like, you know, like he had a sense of mind. It's like, okay, I'm about to fall or I'm about to hit this the wrong way. I'm gonna jump off the bike.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, you
it's
gotta
like
know
you
how to
gotta have
land.
that presence of mind.
Yeah. They teach you that in football too. Know how to hit the ground, know how to land. That was one of the
Yeah.
first drills we had in football. Everybody gets that in soccer and football and everything. You better know how to land. And then in bike riding, you better know how to land too. And then you realize that it's not so bad. The kids that get broken up, they didn't know how to land. They went over the bar. They just drop it, man. Drop the bike and fall.
Yeah, like too much nervousness
Yeah.
or something. Something like almost like something's holding them back
Yeah,
in a
almost
way.
like something's holding them back. I see a lot of videos where a guy will come up and he's just not comfortable with that gap, and it's like, man, I can't gap. I don't know why I can't gap. and and then once he does it, he's like, that was easy. I cased it a little. I didn't get the speed up. But the first mistake is when you watch the kids, the 15, 14-year-old kids, they're so aggressive. And they're like, they just hit it. And it's like, go as fast as you can. That's what every 15-year-old, 14, 13-year-old kid will tell you. Go as fast as you can. And don't think about it. And they're right. Just lose that fear. No fear.
That's true. I know the more you think about it, the more you get worried.
Yeah, if you fear these things, there's a lot of great passages in the Bible, but it says, "Thou shalt not fear for a reason," because people that fear do stupid things.
Cause like you've seen like some of those guys who go down like ride the bikes down like mountains.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a narrow path. It's maybe about a meter or 2 meters wide. But if you go beyond that, you know you're gonna go straight down like 80 degrees.
Oh yeah, over a bank or something. I try to keep it safer than that because I'm not that young anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna try anything like that either.
Yeah,
but
you
it's
gotta
a
know
matter
yourself
of
too.
yeah, exactly. Like you gotta know yourself and you know the path. You gotta know the path because
Know the
like these
path.
guys who are doing these rides, it's not like the first time going down this path.
Right.
Right. They know what to expect. Right?
Yeah,
and the thing is like you gotta keep focused.
In the videos, he's like, "Oh, I'm doing this for the first time," and he drops in, and he's like, "Dropping in," and it's like, "Oh, look, he knows." No, he's walked that path a dozen times, and that's what Mgtow's about. It's about that experience. I walked that path. I know that path. Now
you know the dangers. You know what to look for.
Yeah, I know the dangers. I know what to. I know when I'm going to have a hard turn. I know.
Mm-hmm. Like the same like with rally car racing as well. It's like, like when they do those races, it's not the first time that those guys.
Oh no, they practice.
Like they practice, yes.
Yeah, they start out slow and then they speed up to see what the speed on the track is.
Yeah, and then once you're familiar with it, like they could go full speed, and to the observer, it looks like they're like pretty amazing. But like it's like you put that work in, you practice, you find out where the dangers are, you find out where the hard right turn is. Because if you're not ready for the hard right turn, it's gonna get you every single time.
Get you every time. Yeah, Mgtow's a lot like that, isn't it, Rick?
Yeah, I know. That's why we're talking about this because it is exactly like that. Like honestly, it's like I spoke about this before. If I knew what I knew now, years ago.
Oh God, yeah.
Things would have been different.
If I would have known,
I don't know how much better, but it would have been different than what it is now.
I could have applied some logic. I would have known what was coming at that turn. I could have did the right thing.
Yeah.
I could have, man. I like I said, everybody. I'd probably been a billionaire now if I'd have known what I known then. All that money and all that time wasted and all that simping and all that validation I was trying to get. I thought that girl was going to fix my life. No, the only person that was going to fix my life was me.
Yes. Like I said, one quote I said in one channel, was it yesterday? I think it's like no man should have a master because it's like each man is his own master.
Yeah, each man is.
You gotta take control. You gotta take control of your own life because trust me, nobody else is gonna do it for you, and if anyone does, they're not gonna do it for your benefit.
Yeah, it's nice to have
do it for theirs.
it's nice to, if I could have went back, I would have formed a more male centric support system too. There's always nice, guys and dudes, they take care of each other in that support system, and one guy falls, they pick him back up, and, dust him off. And, but that doesn't happen with women. They'll kick you to the side. You're a disposable male for one reason. You got a woman, she doesn't pick you up and dust you off.
No, that never happens.
That doesn't happen.
Never.
Never. Your bro be there for a room or a helping hand when you need it. Your bro will, but no woman will. There ain't no woman in the world. She can kick you. She can kick you when you're down. She's gonna kick you out to the curb. She's gonna throw you away and get a new one, a better model.
Like even some men will do that too. So I'm not just saying it like it's only women who will do that.
Yeah, now
some men will actually kick you down when you're down too.
Yeah, choose your friends carefully in this lifetime. Put them through that vetting test. Make sure they're going to be there for you. We all do that. We all try to do that. Pick the best friends we can. Make sure that dude's going to be there for you, and you make sure that you're the kind of dude that you're going to be there for him. That's what doing that cleaning your side of the street's about. Being a man above reproach. Make sure you're that dude that's worthy of his friendship. And then, four men. You put four men and give them a garage, and they'll start a country.
Trust me. It's like, man, if I had like one other good guy I could depend on, there's so much I could do right now.
That's the biggest thing I found when I first came into Mgtow is like trying to find one dude that you can be in business with, one dude that you could do something with, because in a world full of blue tards, that's almost impossible sometimes in your area. That's why we need more Mgtows.
Yeah.
It's like, because if you can find that one dude that you work together with, then you got a team, and a team's always better.
Yep. Like even with like not even like working together, but just having someone else who you could like talk to, relate to. Just that's also important in your life as well.
Right. I went through that the other day, just having a Mgtow bro on here when I called Riff and I asked him, my guitar had busted. I was panicking. I was like, oh man, what do I do here? And he just talked to me for a little bit while I was working on it, calmed me down and stuff. And it wasn't a big deal. It's just a guitar, but man, it was my guitar and it was a big deal to me. And I was like, oh man, I'm so screwed here. And then after I fixed it, and I was like, thanks, man. Thanks for talking me through that. I was just wiggled the bolt back out. I didn't have to tap or drill or anything. And after I started looking at it logically, I just bought the new parts and fixed it. Having a buddy there, having a pal or someone that, just that's what Mgtow's for. In life, that works out a lot too. You got a problem. Man, I got a problem. I don't know how to sweat a pipe, something like that. I know how to sweat pipes, but maybe there's one of your buddies that don't know how to sweat a pipe and he's got a hole. And man, be there for him and like show him how to sweat the pipe.
And that's Riff Mingles that you talk about, right?
What's that?
Riff Mingles?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a good guy. He used to make a lot of videos, and actually he took a break or something like that.
Yeah, he still makes videos.
And then I saw him make another video. I haven't watched it fully yet because sometimes when videos are released, I'm like working or busy or whatnot.
Yeah, it's hard. Riff's Aussie, so he's over there and in another time zone a day before us.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's a time warp. It's already happened for him. See, Aussies, I always wondered, you guys, the Aussies, and the guys over in far Europe and everything, you should be able to tell us Americans what's going to happen because it already happened for you.
I know, but I know you think that, but it doesn't work that way because everything all happens at the same time.
I know. That's
it's just that it's like, okay, for something to happen for us right now, it's evening time. For the Aussies, it's like afternoon. It's not like they're ahead of time. It's just that
Yeah, I know. It's not like
their
they're
time
ahead
is
of
a little bit
time. It's the
different.
same time for all of us, but our time, and that tells you how absurd the world is, doesn't it? Our time
Yeah,
is based on some solar unit that the existence of time doesn't it already happened for him. Well, if that was true, he'd be able to tell me what's going to happen.
well, it's like the same thing at looking up at the stars. Because like when you look up at the stars, okay, if a star exploded,
Yeah,
like right this second,
yeah,
you wouldn't know about it.
yeah. I wouldn't know about
But
it.
if it exploded like maybe like 1,000 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
okay, yeah, you'll see it, and like for you, it'll be happening like right now.
Oh, that
But
star.
that star already exploded, and it's already gone.
Yeah. Now I don't know visually. Visually, does it work that way?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because like
Light
the closest
travels.
star is
Yeah,
something
the
like
light won't
the closest
get
star
you.
is like
Yeah.
yeah, the
Yeah, the
closest
light
star is
won't.
something like 400 light years away from us. So
Yeah.
that means it takes 400 years
400 years. Yeah.
for us to even see the light from the star.
Yeah.
So if something happens between that 400 years, we won't know until 400 light years in our time
Yeah.
when we actually see it.
Yeah.
So,
It's like most of the things in your life already happened. By the time your mind reads something, it's already happened. By the time you
but like
see
when it comes to something here on Earth, right? Because like
we're close.
we're literally connected, especially with the internet, right? We
Yeah.
can find out things like that quick.
Yep. Like that. Go read Google.
Like it's just that people are just in different times. That's it.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
It doesn't mean that they're ahead of
That's
us
not
or
doesn't
behind
mean
us
that they're
or
ahead of
whatever.
time. It just means
Yeah.
that they're in a different time zone. It's
Mm-hmm.
a human construct based on the 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 sun.
Yeah. I know, because if we didn't do that, it's like, you know what? Imagine if around the world right now it was like about 6:30 p.m. right now, and like people over in like the Philippines and Australia, they look at the time and say, okay, it's 6:30 p.m. right?
Mhm.
But they think, oh, okay, 6:30 p.m. It's like, the sun should be setting or already set.
Yeah,
But it's like for them, it's like it's full daytime.
yeah. It's
So they had to make a system like that in order to for everybody to adjust to pretty much just like biology, basically. Because like we go on like a night day cycle where like during the daytime we're awake, during the nighttime we're sleeping.
yeah.
Or actually, although like some people actually have the reverse cycle, like those people who work night shifts, they work on the opposite cycle.
Oh yeah, Brissy boys in Brisbane, and I didn't. Yeah, it's 6:30 in the morning for him. Six or 8 o'clock, 8:30 in the morning for him.
No, it should be in England. It should be
Oh, he's in Australia.
Australia. Yeah. It would be like 6 a.m.
Yeah, 6 a.m. or something in the morning. Yeah, six
Yeah,
6 8:30.
if not later. Because remember, even Australia has like I think they have 2 or 3 time zones within Australia too.
Yeah, so he's waking up to Trav.
Mhm.
This is the morning drive. Saturday morning. The morning drive. Yeah. Yeah. Mgtow's interesting. Mgtow gives you a lot of what was it, if you could think of one thing that Mgtow got you over, you were thinking bad on it. You had faulty thinking on that one thing. What was the biggest thing when you first came in and you started talking to us, Rick?
Hmm. You know what? I never really thought about that, but I
The
would
thing
say
that
that
changed everything for you.
I would say it's like I really started seeing like things as they are, and
Yeah.
that I was able to make like better decisions because of it.
Yeah. Yeah. You
Like
like,
I had I had a more clear mind
yeah,
at
your
the beginning.
mind cleared up. Everybody that screws around with the women and everything, and then they get that 20 IQ gift from Mgtow, and then they go,
Yeah,
oh man, and they don't equate it to Mgtow, but they don't equate it to the sexual activity and the foolishness and the shenanigans that they're putting their body through and the stress.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, you get that 20 extra IQ points, and yeah, that's bacteria too. All the bacteria comes out of your body because you're celibate. You're trying to be celibate. I failed at that so many times. Like when I first came in, I was like, man, I'm going to get that celibacy. But I'd fail and then oh man, I'm a failure, a Mgtow. And then finally I got it. I worked through that. Stop being
Yeah, of
so
course. Because
sure.
like it's not an easy like 1-2 step. Like it just automatically happens. It's a whole process that we go through.
Yeah. When I got it, it was like when I ended those things on my terms. It had to be on
Yeah.
my terms. Like
Yeah. Exactly.
I had a bad divorce, and that wasn't on my terms. My first girlfriend got murdered. That wasn't on my terms. I went through a long series of girlfriends after that. And the last girl that I had, I just drove up with the car. She's getting out, and I said, "This ain't gonna work." And she said, "Yeah, I know. It ain't gonna work." And then she got out of the car, and I left, and that was it. And it was on my terms. That was
Hmm.
easy then. You got to make it on your terms in life because, man, it's like you got to be even with stuff in life, and that's one of the things that you can't let not be even with on. It'll pry on your mind. It'll make you think about things. It's like, what if I would have did this? What if I would have did that? Once you end it on good terms, and that lays gentle on your mind, life gets Mgtow becomes easy, and it's like, yeah, don't need it. I don't need hugs. I'm not gonna die. That's one of the things.
You can't second guess yourself either.
Don't second guess yourself. Yeah, you're not thinking about stupid things. Once you sit down after that and you start looking at life and reality, and you clear up a little bit, and it's like, I like this place I'm in now. I like me. I like doing things for me. I want to go rock hunting instead of wig shopping. I want to
Hmm.
go bike riding. I want to go I want to go out the garage and just build something and do that instead of all that other garbage that I've been doing. And that equates to money sometimes, and that equates to a better position in life. And start doing things for yourself, and you see, oh man, this Mgtow thing really, really works out. And there's a lot of philosophy that lines up. That's cool, as a male. I wish the young guys would get it right away because we need them to get it right away, don't we?
Yeah, but it's kind of hard to do it without the life experience, but it is possible because I know some guys who actually did it,
Yeah.
where they learned that information early, but they also had a lot of mentors as well.
Yeah, they have urges, yeah. And those are the things the risk, but you can negotiate it with a little less risk. It could be risk free, like I say, 200 miles and a fake ID. And you could do that risk free. You can put yourself in
Yeah,
positions to
but
make
it's
it.
I know it's still a risk though.
Yeah, it's still risk. It's always going to be risk, some amount of risk until you become Mgtow monk. And then you're like, I get away with all the risk. I just no risk anymore because can't tempt fate.
Yeah, and then after that it's just smooth sailing. It's like you, pretty much you make your own path.
Yeah, you make your own path, and now your own path is great. What do you do now? Do you do something that you do now that you didn't do before?
Well, I'm an independent contractor right now,
Okay.
but
Yeah,
like
before you would work for someone, you'd be the slave, and now
yeah.
you work for yourself, and I make yeah. I know exactly what you do. I actually wrote a book on it.
I know. Like even before, it's like we used to talk about. It's like, oh well, like how to do like classroom very well and all that stuff. It's like, like trust me, I know when someone who knows their stuff is talking about it
Hmm.
because
Yeah, I was going to
like I
tell you
recognize that with
today
you.
when you were talking about going to do the job for the woman. I said, did you charge your extra for that and do it on your time because that's how you make money? I mean,
Because because like I know because like when I work for people, it's like some small jobs. it's like, okay, if you work by hours, like I'm getting paid like $60 to $100 an hour.
Yeah.
But like the job only takes like 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's how I made my
Right,
best money. Once I realized that, like, I can turn this in, and he's going to take it off. He's going to take my expenses off of her security deposit, or I could tell her that that's what's going to happen, and you're going to lose your security deposit if I have to fix this too many times. And then I'll say, well, I can come back at night. I'll put this in for you for $50, and you can take care of that now, and it'll be cheaper. It'll be like $30 cheaper to have me in. Otherwise, I got to write up my report and say,
no, not even $30 cheaper. It'd be like sometimes it'd be like $200 cheaper.
Yeah, it'll be a lot cheaper. I've done lots of doors. We used to hammer people when they kicked out a door or something, and we charge them.
Oh yeah.
It's automatically going to cost you $180. And if it comes out of your security deposit, then it's going to cost you $360 plus the door plus in me.
Yeah.
I'll put that door in.
The door itself, the installation of the door.
Yeah.
And you have to put on the handles.
Handles. I could use the old ones if you want. I can give you new ones, or the locks are mine anyway.
More labor. It takes labor, right?
Yeah,
and
but
labor is not free.
Yeah, when you see your security deposit missing $500, $600, you're going to know why, because then he's going to charge you for 2 doors. You know how that works? It was his door to begin with. You broke his door. Now he had to put a new door up. He had to pay for that. So there's 2 doors you got to break. You have to pay for it.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, if you deal with me, I could take care of this for you. It'd cost you a lot less. And that's how we made our money. And once we explained this to the boss and everything and started putting my system in place, and I was like, you're going to get your security deposit. You're going to keep you're going to have happier tenants. I get to make money. This is how I make my money. I'm an independent contractor on this stuff. And I'll even share some of that with you.
I know. We can talk privately about that.
Yeah. But yeah, so you take advantage of that
now. As well. Yes.
And then I realized when I used to teach maintenance is your best friend is $3,000. You get $3,000. You go down to your Home Depot. You get the contractor's book, and then you buy the Moen faucets. What like $79 for the Chateau now? I don't know what it is in Canadian. Like $114 for the Chateau. But if you buy $3,000 of those, they're like $36.
Yeah.
So every time I put,
it's always cheaper by volume. Yes.
Right, to buy the volume through your contractor's license, and then now I put those in. I make I charged retail on it $114, and then I charge. I'll give you a deal. I'll only charge you $20. So I'm making like $100 on every Chateau faucet because I had the foresight to buy $3,000 worth of them. I to buy 100.
Yeah, because I don't know if your Home Depot is the same like ours up here in Canada.
The governments regulate them different, but it's probably a lot the same.
Okay, well, I'm not sure about that, but I'm referring to like the Home Depot. They have this one program where like any contractors in the area, you could register with them. So like like some people come to Home Depot, it's like they want to get stuff done like in their house.
Right. You can get those done too.
They don't know exactly what to do, but they know they want to get something fixed. But they could go to Home Depot. They could say, "Hey, I need a contractor," and the Home Depot will say, "Okay, we've got a list of contractors right here."
Yeah. That's where you got to be honest with Home Depot. You got to have your tax number. You got to sign up as a contractor. You have to have your insurance, which gives you the contractor's license, and you got to be honest. And then once we're honest with your government, you're honest about that, it all opens up. That's the hardest part to explain to men. It all opens up in front of you. Now you can invest in your business through that.
Yes.
And you can buy 100 Moen faucets. You can buy 100, doorknobs. You can buy 100 or 1,000, whatever you're going to buy. You can buy all those screws and those bolts and everything. And you get money back at the end of the year from the government for buying there.
Yeah. Yep.
Buy in volume.
Because it all depends on what you do too, right? Because like we're talking about like certain aspect, we're talking about pretty much like construction work, right?
Yeah, I always tell people
it could also apply to like other things as well. Like if you're dealing with like electronics or you work with computers or deal with other types of businesses.
Right.
The same thing also applies as well.
Yeah, there's 1,000 businesses in that store. Just pick one, or two, or three, or four, whatever you're good at, whatever you have a talent for. You got to have a talent for this stuff too.
And yeah, that's the key, because I think, yeah, you were talking about this the other day. It's like, it's like like you can't apply for like a ballerina job if you don't know how to
If you
like
don't know how to be
dance.
a ballerina, like I was saying, you can't
Ballerina.
play in the orchestra unless you know how to play the violin.
Exactly. Right. And like the thing is that like obviously we're all, not all the same. We don't all have the same interests.
Yeah,
And that's where it comes down to the individual. You got to find what you like and pursue it.
Yeah, you got to find out who you are, what you like. That's a big part of the Mgtow thing, finding out what you're good at. I didn't know that before I became a Mgtow. I didn't know that I knew that I was good at certain things. But now I had a real need too. And, I'm broke and I'm hurt and I had a real need to find out what am I good at? What's the only thing I can do is what I was good at.
Because like sometimes it's like honestly, you just gotta like step back and take a look.
Take a look
and see, like the best place to start is like, what do you like to do?
What do you like to do? Yeah, because you're going to do good what you like to do.
And then after that, it's like once you find what you like to do, then you find out what kind of work or professions you could get into.
Right. There's always this thing about
that could also
what's hot now, what's not hot, what people are paying for, what people aren't paying for.
Yeah, I know. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, things will come to you, but if you get aboard like a new trend, I mean, you could be in front of the game on that. You got a little foresight on these things too, always helps.
Because there's a lot of industries that would always need people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Hey, I'll be totally honest with the guys. With coming out of the Army and being a very, very young guy and everything. And, I joined the Army at 17, so I was still very young when I got out. I didn't know what I was good at, but I didn't realize the Army had already gave me a couple skills.
Yeah.
And first time I wrote that down and I got a job, I was like, it was oil and lubrication, and I knew all the pumps, and I knew I knew the volumes, and I knew how to do it, and I knew everything about oil and lubrication there is, but I never thought that would be a job in the real world because no one ever told me. And then I got together with Traybon. The guy gave me an engineering guide for a Traybon units and everything. And he said, call me. And when you need anything, and he was really a great guy. And he was a mentor figure for me. And I'd call him and I'd ask him about things. And then I went and put the application. Every shop in the world has things that need to be lubricated, and they need to be lubricated timely, so they don't bust, so they don't have $1 million in a bearing going down and $1 million of stuff breaking. And then you're that guy. You're the guy with the certificate. And I thought, oh man, I didn't see that. But noticing what you are, what things you have under you and everything, that's what it took. And sometimes, something little like that, I never thought that was worth anything. I thought that was a garbage course.
Yeah, I know, because I know that's one thing. It's like sometimes it's actually hard to see where the value is, so what you should focus on. But that's why, like even when I do streams, I usually say it's like try to learn some skills, either some new skills or some skills that are similar to like what you already know.
Yeah, what you know,
and then. Also, keep yourself healthy.
Yeah, try to keep yourself healthy.
You don't have to be like a bodybuilder, but keep yourself in shape. That's all. Have a good diet. Stay away from too much junk food, because like once in a while you can have some junk food, but don't make it like a regular routine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nothing like an injury will knock you out of the game, man. And I know that I went through that this year with the knee at the beginning of the year. It's like an injury will knock you out of the game. It's going to test you. And that's tragedy of life too. That's getting in touch with the tragedy of life. That taught me a lot about life. But try to get yourself back up and, get back on the horse, like they say. And, how our healthcare systems are, they don't want to help you.
Yeah.
and
So across the arm and leg, and like
across
you
the arm
already
and
lost a
leg, and they
leg.
want to, you know,
So
that's
that means you have 2 missing legs.
yeah, I got 2 missing legs now. I can't walk, and you want to kick me with those charges, you know, man. It's like, yeah, but there's going to be some trials too in Mgtow, man. I would say that if you're around Mgtow long enough, people are going to get to see you fall, and you're going to have to get back up. And that's the lesson there. Get back up, man. Get back up. Get back. They want you. They want to see you get back up. They want to see you use your Mgtow, and then they want you to tell you about how I used my Mgtow to get back up. And I love this program. I think it's one of the greatest programs in the world. But it's right now. It's like, you know,
it's kind of weird right now.
Yeah, it's weird right now, and we have to write down the real Mgtow program. You know.
Yeah, I know. Even if we do, it's like, there's going to be like 10 times more people, actually 100 times more people saying, "Oh no, that's not the rules."
Yeah, that's not the rules. That's not how Mgtow works. Yeah, there's these halflings and the purple pill guys, and they want to tell you how Mgtow. And the girls want to tell us how Mgtow works, and that's what we feel right now. We feel that entryism by the purple pillars and the PUAs and the life coaches. They want to tell you how it really works, but we know how it really works.
Yeah, because it already happened. Like they're already in here, and that's why like you see a lot of guys, that just give up and say, "I'm going to drop the Mgtow label," but it's like
drop the Mgtow.
They don't change.
Be cool.
But they don't change what they're saying.
No, they don't change. That's you get to see them come and you get to see them go, because the last thing they're going to do is F you, Mgtow, and they Mgtow out of Mgtow. Like, I'm going to take my Mgtow and go my own way and do my thing. And it's like, that was never your Mgtow to begin with. That's why you could do that.
Because I guess a lot of people don't understand. There's actually some like rules to this.
Yeah, there are some rules.
There's hard rules, and then there's soft rules.
Right?
Because the hard rules, no cohabitation, no marriage, right? Don't have children.
Yeah.
But the soft rules, this is what we talk about.
Right.
Like, not just myself, but like all these other guys, they talk about the softer rules.
Yeah, it's like, what would a Mgtow do in this situation? What would a Mgtow do in this situation? Where does that philosophy change for us and the blue pill people? That's what you need to have, get that down, and your life will start clicking. The philosophy of that, why do we do these things? Why do we continue doing these things? What's the meaning of it? The epistemology of it is, the meaning of it. And once you get those things, life gets a lot easier, man.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah. I have people all the time. We've seen it here earlier in the chat, telling me that I'm wrong about something about this. It's like, no. Somehow they want Mgtow to bend and suit to their will. It's like,
well,
no.
If they feel that way, it's like, if they feel that way, let them speak up.
Yeah, let them speak up.
If it's not Mgtow, okay, create something new. Go ahead.
Yeah.
It's like, you have my permission from the grace of Mr. RP here.
Yeah.
You have my permission to make something new.
Rick, when someone comes around and starts arguing with me, I always put the thing up there and say, come on in, and we'll talk about it. How many of those guys actually show
I know I see it. A lot of guys don't even jump in. Remember back in the days when I first started talking with you guys, man. I was like, I used to be in the chat and whatever, and then posted a link. And like, I said, it's like, you know what? Let me join in. And I remember that day when I joined in, I had to update stuff on my phone and all this stuff, and it took me a while. I eventually got in, and I started talking real talk.
Yeah. Right? Hey, Mgtow Academy. I like that thing that was on Twitter today that some guy gave some girl a Cleveland bus driver. Mgtow Academy knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, the Cleveland bus driver. You know what that is, Rick? Don't you?
Cleveland, but I'm not sure.
It's the
Who was the leader?
the Cleveland.
Oh, that was Cleveland.
Yeah, with the bus driver.
Okay, yeah. It's like, oh no, you're gonna get it now.
Yeah,
Man.
she was up hitting him while he was driving. She was putting the whole bus, everybody on that bus, in danger. Yeah. And then he just got up and he just clocked her. And then I call that the Cleveland bus driver.
Solid uppercut.
Yeah, and they fired him and they took away his pension.
Oh fuck.
And for that, and I was like, oh, that's gynocentrism in there because he protected everybody on the bus. That's his job. Yeah. And if this woman was getting out of control, that's a moving vehicle.
Moving violation.
She was hitting him while he was driving, and they fired him, the male, because it looked because the visual on that looked bad, the optics looked bad. That's gynocentrism.
It's just like that football player, the race guy, or I forget his name.
Ray Rice,
right? With in the elevator or whatever, and this woman was punching him and throwing everything at him, and like he just like kind of like blocked it.
Yeah.
And they say, Rice hit her.
Yeah.
Like he shouldn't have hit her.
Yeah, he shouldn't have hit her.
Wait, hold on. It's like, are we seeing the same thing here?
Yeah. It's like, well, can't have, and that's when you realize how just in life, how permeated it is, how it's sewn into the fabric of life is gynocentrism. It's awful. It's horrible, and it makes for an absurd world, doesn't it? When you see something like that,
it does.
It's like you have to live in this absurd fantasy and world not to see that, not to notice that there was something wrong there.
Like honestly, it's like when I came into Mgtow, man, I was thinking about ways is like there has to be some way to get out of this cycle. It's like I was thinking through like so many ideas and everything.
Yeah.
In order to make the system better. But you know what? After all these years, I came up with nothing.
You came up with nothing. Yeah, bargaining with the system, the way things are in life. That's the biggest lesson you're going to learn in Mgtow. There is no bargaining with sexual cryptis. There's no bargaining with that kind of biology. That's simping. You just stand back and observe and try. It's like riding that bike through the woods there. It's like try to avoid the trees.
Like, this is real. This is real meaning of walking away.
Yeah. I mean, there's going to be trees. I mean, you can run into them, but try to avoid them now. That's what Mgtow's telling you. The blue pill guys are running into trees and going, oh, that hurt, and then running into the next one.
Yeah. Because like a lot of guys who know me, who might be watching, they know it's like I used to have that same with like I'm flipping the table over, right?
Yeah.
Because the act of flipping the table over means that I am not going to sit down and have a discussion. There's nothing to negotiate.
There's nothing to negotiate.
I'm done.
Yeah, done.
And you know what? There is no table to sit down at because I already flipped it over.
I flipped that son of a bitch over, and I'm doing it my way now. I'm doing it for me.
And like the guys who knows me, I would say it's like, no, I have no more tables to flip because I'm not even going to bother with that anymore. I'm not going to sit down for no discussion.
Yeah, that's
what's someone going to tell me?
Yeah, what's
someone?
Like,
oh no, man! It's like no, man. You got to find a new way.
Yeah, it's like give me bad information. I can get bad information from every drunk at every bar.
Hey, you know, it's funny. Some drunk probably know a lot more things.
If he's a Mgtow drunk, he's gonna start spurting out the truth. But
yeah,
if you got
I know, and everybody else is like
99% of them are gonna tell you find a woman. You know, it's like no, man, that's what
life's not complete or something like that.
Yeah, life's not complete till you do that. It's like you're gonna self-actualize into the pyramid. You self-actualize, and then you get the split V. It's like, that's ridiculous.
It's like, man, okay, if this life is a game, what are the criteria of winning the game,
Yeah. What's the criteria of winning the game?
right? Because obviously it's not getting a woman, not getting married, because you know what, that woman could leave you, and you could get a divorce as well.
And then take
And like when you get
everything
a divorce,
back to square one.
take everything back to square one. So how do you win?
How do
Anybody?
you? Oh, Mgtow.
Anybody?
I know that one. You Mgtow it.
Mgtow. That's the only way you win.
Don't
and like
get
actually,
in that,
it's
yeah.
like just
Don't
like
get in that to begin with.
just like Joey says, is like sometimes it's like being involved with Mgtow. It is almost like having pocket aces.
Yeah, pocket aces. I got pocket aces here. It makes things a whole lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
At least, man, it just, it makes those lows not as low because those lows can get pretty low.
Yeah.
I mean, so what? Sometimes you're not going to he's going to run a straight on you. Hey, that happens. That's life,
Yeah.
But
the rest of the time is like you come up pretty good.
Yeah, the rest of the time you're going to come up pretty good. Yeah, man. Don't run through life with that one headlight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was my analogy today. One headlight. It's like
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's a good analogy actually.
Yeah, I got one headlight,
well,
man. I got one headlight and a flat tire, and I'm trying to coast in my driveway when I first came in this place. And it's like, man, I need two headlights. I need a good tire. I can fix those things as a Mgtow, and then I could be on my way and not be as not being at risk. But those blue pill guys, you're gonna try to run it down to the rim and try to get away with it. You're gonna get a ticket.
No. Well, let alone ticket. Like you could just go off the road.
Yeah, you're gonna go off the road
or get an accident, which is even worse.
Yeah, there's a million things that can go sideways on that.
Okay, like you're driving down the road with one headlight, right? It's like, okay, well, you could see, but like, you know what? Other people, when they see you, they see one headlight, they might think it's a motorcycle.
Yeah.
But, they don't realize that there's like a whole car.
Oh yeah, I've seen that before. The whole car, and they swerve towards you. It's like, man, that doesn't.
And then next you know, boom, accident.
That's the way I felt when I was thinking about that. I'm limping into Mgtow when I first started, and it's like, man, I'm bad shape. I got one headlight. I got
a lot of us looked into here.
Yeah.
A lot of us didn't even know what to expect when we came.
I ain't even got the ante up in the game. Yeah. Sorry, I'm opening up.
Yeah, well, I know you're drinking, but I'm drinking my Red Bull. Well, I say Red Bull. Every time I say Red Bull, everybody automatically thinks of the energy drink.
The Red Bull with the alcohol in it.
Yeah.
Oh, cool! Them things that get you like wired.
That's why I already had my little nap today.
Yeah,
because I was drinking these. Because like I said, I didn't work long today. It's like afterwards I started drinking. I took my nap and back up again.
Yeah, I can't remember what I did before I went bike riding today. I did I think I did the iodine, and then I waited for a while. I wanted the iodine, and then I just did. I can't remember, some coffee, and just get me going a little. I was like, it's warm enough. I can get down into the mud.
Yeah.
My knee's coming along. I can almost stand on that side. As soon as I can stand on that side again without pain, I'll be able to do a couple gaps and stuff. That's going to make me so happy. But I'm probably going to be a sissy about it. The first one.
Well, listen. There's no rush.
Yeah.
To do it again, right? It's like, okay. Well, you can do it.
I know I could do it. I just got to get used to doing it again. And it's like,
let the body heal, man.
Yeah, let the body heal.
Take your time. It's like There's no rush. There's no rush. There's nobody on your back forcing you. It's like,
Yeah,
man, you got to make that jump, right? If you want to make that jump, you do it on your own time,
yeah,
right? That's a great thing. That's a great thing
that's
about fucking being
great.
a fucking big town man.
Yeah,
It's like, it's like if you want to do something, yeah, you could do it, and nobody's pushing you on your back.
yeah. There's no one forcing you to do it, and you do it at your own time, and keep yourself safe while you're doing it and everything.
Of course, of course.
But once you do it, there's that moment in the air.
Oh yeah, I know that. I know that feeling.
I got the big
Oh,
retard smile. I'm like, and I got the I got the tired smile going. I'm happy. I'm happier than I ever been in my life when I'm in the air, and
yeah,
and it's like I'm living a million lifetimes in one day. You know, that's what I say. You know, MGTOWs, you get to live a million lifetimes now. If you were that blue pill guy and just doing that for the woman and everything, there's going to be very few moments in your life where you're going to have a happy moment where you get the retard smile. Man, live a million moments in your life. That's what MGTOW gives you, the opportunity to live a million moments.
yes, it does.
It's like that's a great thing, man. Get that, do that, and push it hard too. Sometimes, however, what you do, man, be the
Yeah,
best.
yeah, yeah. Well, be the best. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, be the best that just you can be.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Be the best that you can be.
Yeah, I mean, you may not be like I'm no Fabio Wilmer or Scott
Yeah,
Pilgrim or anything. I'm not. I'm not.
because listen, we can all be billionaires, but
Yeah,
you know what? We can live less good though.
yeah, we can. I wasn't born a billionaire, so okay, I'll make the best of this thing. As a MGTOW, I think I'm living happier than most billionaires are.
Yeah,
I mean,
look at the Amazon. Sorry.
oh, the Amazon guy.
CEO of Amazon. Um,
Yeah, he
oh
just went.
no, it's Jeff Bezos
Jeff
or
Bezos. Yeah,
Bezos.
that's his name. I couldn't
Yeah,
remember that before.
I said George before. I said George before the chat.
Jeff, yeah,
It's Jeff.
Jeff. Yeah, he went through his recent divorce and lost what 36 million bucks on that or something. How much did that cost him?
He,
36 billion.
he lost half,
Half. Oh,
and
yeah.
like now, automatically, his ex-wife is now the richest woman in the world.
You know what he should do? He should like spread a little money around to MGTOW and then like, hey, billionaire guys, you're gonna lose half of your money. Listen to these MGTOWs, they know.
Uh,
He never will. He'll
so
probably go back, do the same thing.
no, I know he's gonna do the same thing because like even like the last I heard about that whole thing is like his ex-wife is still on one of his boards.
Yeah. Oh, they're trying to do the we're gonna be friends thing for
God,
because the
listen,
optics are good.
from experience,
That's gonna work out bad.
who tried to from experience from someone who actually tried to
Yeah,
have an ex-girlfriend as a friend, it doesn't work
it don't
at
work.
all.
Yeah, the optics are great, but it's not gonna. They're gonna come back for the filthy Sanchez sooner or later.
It's gonna bite you in the ass one day.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
Remorse. What I say about that? That's remorse. It's like to bite again in Latin. It means remorse is to bite again.
oh, seriously?
Yeah, yeah. That's what
But,
that means. That's
yeah,
why I say
I'm gonna have to look it up just to double check. But
yeah. Some people have regret, and some people have remorse. Women have remorse. It's to bite again. That you want to be friends after that? No, I don't trust you. I don't trust nobody after I've been bitten once.
mm, like one hip hop song that I like. This artist called DMX.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys know that or not,
Yeah.
but
Some, no.
but he has this one lyric in one of the songs, actually a couple of the songs. It's like I can forgive, I just can't forget.
I just can't forget. Yeah, well, that's what you learn.
Right?
Trust but verify.
It doesn't. It means that he doesn't have any ill will towards the person that did him wrong. But
Right.
the thing is, like, he's not going to get back with that same person that did him wrong,
Right.
or anybody else who would do him wrong in the same way.
Oh yeah, we all got opportunities at a certain point to do that, redo it, or try to make it better. Or man, you got to think like,
And that's a definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting the same or different results. That's insanity.
That's expecting different results. Yeah, that's insanity. I've been there, done that. Don't need to learn that one again.
It's like we've been through that, and like, you know what? Not going to do it again.
Yeah. Mgtow teaches that's another part of the philosophy. It's like the little things that matter that you're going to use out in that world.
Yeah, because like when it comes down to philosophy, you realize that, you know what? Nothing has changed. Like, it doesn't matter if you find a different woman. Nothing has changed. It's the same thing. There's no walls.
And there ain't you can't make a mule into a Nawalt.
Mm-hmm. Or actually, well, the better analogy is making a mule into a unicorn.
Yeah, you can't make a mule into a unicorn. Yeah, that's
right.
Yeah,
because the Orwell statement, the Orwell statement hasn't changed.
Yeah, because nothing's changed.
And like anyone who says Nawalt, they're not recognizing why AWOL is an actual thing.
Right, why AWOL is an actual thing, because they all have the ability to pull the silver bullet, every single one. And that's all. That's what makes them all the same.
Because like you see, like some guys say, "Oh man, I have a good wife, I have a good family. It's like you guys should be more like me." It's like, no, your good wife could actually do the same thing for you as well.
And that has little to do with nothing. I mean, I'm not saying that women are bad or anything. I'm not saying.
So I'm not saying that either.
I'm saying that this is the way it is, and that's just the way it is. And I associate with women in my life. I'm not afraid of them. I don't. They come around now, and I feel more comfortable with my Mgtow when they come around, and I go and do things, and I have to work for them once in a while. But it doesn't mean that I don't know how that thinks.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I know exactly how it thinks.
Because I know, because like you could be scared of demons, you could be scared of the unknown. One thing I'm not scared of women. No. I'm scared of, or not. I'm not even scared of what they could do. It's like, I know what they could do.
Yeah, I know what they can do, and I know that's they're not those. They got teeth, and them things bite, and like any little pet or any wild animal, just the smallest one, 10 pounds, that bite's gonna hurt. I just got bit last summer by that little dog. It was like this big. You can't see it. It was like how big? Like that big. It's like it was probably 15 pounds. It grabbed me on my ankle and tore my ankle open.
Oh shit!
And for corruption, we smell corruption. Yes, I carry pepper spray everywhere now. I got it.
Man, I should carry my chain of peace everywhere.
Yeah.
I go. It's like I have this chain of peace. I usually wear just when I go to the bear store, just around the corner here. But my chain of peace, pretty much is like how thick is that? The links on the chain is about a quarter inch thick. It's like iron or steel or something.
Okay.
And I just put it on my neck. And like, you know what? When I take off that chain, the piece is over.
Yeah.
Because when I take off that chain, I'm using that as a weapon.
No, I found that in my life now, I so just want to not do those things anymore, not be in that situation of that pepper spray. It stays in my pocket.
Yeah, I know. I understand that.
Frisky at the
I understand that.
I automatically grab it, and I says, "This is not going to turn out well for you."
Yeah, I understand that too. I understand that. But the thing is, like for me, it's like, I just wear that. And the thing is, it would take a lot. Actually, it would take some kind of moment where I would actually need to pull that out.
Yeah.
But even still, even if I didn't have that, I will still be able to handle such a situation just because of how I am. But
Yeah.
not everybody's like me,
Yeah.
right?
I'm
100%.
courageous myself. I do things. I've always been, a soldier. I'm just too courageous sometimes in my old age. I mean, courage, sometimes you got to taper that down and start doing things sensibly.
No.
Mgtow.
Okay. Well, but let me think for a sec. When you say that, it means that that kind of drive, or like almost like your principles behind it.
Yeah.
At some point, you're going to have to stand up for what you believe in.
Oh, yeah. Hey, what is that? Shining used to say, some point in Mgtow here, you got to, is this worth, is this worth standing up for? Is this worth dying for? Is this worth, is the truth worth it? And them are more principles.
Or like what's going around, or what's going on around you. Like,
Right.
at what point are you going to stand up and say, you know what, this is enough?
This is nuts. Yeah.
Right. And the thing is, like, hopefully, when there's a certain point reached, it's not just going to be one guy standing up and saying,
Right.
no, this is enough. There's going to be like a million guys saying,
guys,
this is enough.
This is
right.
great.
And then there's other million guys, actually another billion guys after that, saying, you know what, we agree with these guys as well.
Right. Yeah. And I think we got most people that come in, even even the people that disagree with us, dissenters, they disagree with us, but then you hear, well, Mgtows, you're right about this, you're right about this, you're right about this. So they agree with us that the system's screwed, that we can't trust it. And we take it a little bit farther. We want to get enough guys where we can stand up someday and say, no more. It's over.
Because you guys are already heard about HMT, right?
HMT.
And like, HMT. Hockey mask time.
Hockey mask time, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But that's like individual guys standing up at a certain point. But even still, it's like, you know what? There's no backup for them.
Yeah.
Or there's no backup to, like, oh, you know what? It's like, okay, or what they did or what she did was wrong. I'm standing up for it, right? He has nobody.
Right. He has
behind him. That's an HMT time.
Yeah. That's what Mgtows need to, I mean, we
need. I know, of course. Yeah. Mgtow should have been there, but listen, Mgtow couldn't be there.
Yeah. If that's what we need to grow our and make sure that the guys know about this. And if that one guy, he's like that one sheriff and Detroit there, after they're taking all the houses, and then finally he said, no, we're not going to do that no more to the judge. He says, no, we can't do that anymore. It just feels wrong and it feels bad. And it was the one guy that stood up. And then after that, there was a bunch of guys that stood up and said, yeah, he's right. But they were all afraid to stand up at first. Mgtow's going to beat them guys that are going to stand up first and say, no, we hope that the MRA will back us. We hope that the PUAs will back us. These somewhat purple people. But we can't trust it right now because they probably won't, because we know courage and they don't have no courage.
Yeah, they won't. That's why we can't stand up right now.
Yeah, and that's why I go with the MTB thing now, because building courage in Mgtow, building these guys up where they have courage, I think that's one of the most important things in Mgtow is having courage, because one guy's going to do it one day, and then I'm going to run up, and I'm going to be like, he's right.
And I'm going to run up too.
If all of us run
both
up,
of them are right.
And but if half those guys, those purple pill guys, are the Gemmas and the Joe Buddies, and those guys are like, oh no, I don't think we should do this. This is our nonviolence principles and everything. It's like, no, we need you now.
Who is it? It was 50 Cent. 50 Cent said in one song, it's like, I'm nonviolent until somebody hits me with a rock.
Yeah, it gets me hitting the head
with
a rock.
then you know what? I'm gonna pull up my gun.
Yeah, but there's going to be eventually where where we have the might and the courage, and we can teach every MGTOW that when that moment happens. Imagine in America when those when the first guys and the first said, you know, the Minutemen, is those first Minutemen would have backed down and nobody came to their aid. We would have never had America.
Yes.
I mean, those first guys, there was only like 14 of them or something. They said, no, we're going to fight right now. This is where it starts. And this is worth fighting for. Our constitutional rights are worth fighting for. No more slavery to men is worth fighting for. No more debtor prison for men is worth fighting for.
Yes, it is.
I mean, in the other 2, 3, you know, violations of the Constitution they do for men, just because gynocentrism says they can get away with it. No, we're not going to have that no more. We want religion out of. We want people, like Trudeau's father said. We get out of our bedrooms.
Yes.
Get out of our bedrooms. I mean, that's what the bed bugs. I was laughing so hard. A lot of the guys don't know what the bed bugs thing is. When you hear they put the bed bugs in the Health and Human Department, they take them to the courthouses. They take the bed bugs and they put them into Walmart and everything. That's bed bugs. That's get out of our rooms. Man, there was one in my neighborhood. Some of the guys got together. They built these boxes and they put question marks on them. The Super Mario boxes. And they put them in front of the Health and Human Services, and then they called the Health and Human Services called the bomb squad. And I said, "You idiot! Get what that's about. That's jump on the boxes and the coins come out." They were just making a fucking statement, you idiot. You have it was a flyby on them. It's like, that's how stupid our government is. I mean, there's a lot of things they do, and it just, I read it in the news and I just start snickering. It's like, you guys need to hire me so I can decipher some of these things that they do, and you can understand why they do them.
I'm repeating myself, but honestly, it's like a lot of people are just stupid, man.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that are too stupid to be Mgtow. You know how I feel about that. I just went off on it last week about it, a couple days ago about it. Man, that's the way I feel about the blue pill guys. They're just too stupid to be Mgtow. I can't explain to them. You can say it a million times and you can't explain to them. You're just too stupid to be Mgtow. I'm going to not waste my time on you no more.
Because like it's worse than just having like a blind spot. It's like it's like they have like a whole mask over their eyes.
Yeah, they have blinders over their eyes, and man, that's like with the Ray Rice thing I was trying to explain. It's like a guy can look at that and actually say he hit her, and it's like, what are you, stupid? What do you see? You can ignore visual evidence in front of you. You have it goes one ear and out the other. It's like their minds are so just not functioning properly that they actually see something different than actually happened.
Yeah. And that's a weird thing to me, honestly.
That is weird, isn't it? It's so weird when us Mgtows look at a situation like that. We see it, and we go, "Wow, you actually think that way, don't you? Wow, that is so weird. I'd like to study that."
Yeah, but yeah, I know. If you do a study, like the study's gonna be ignored anyways.
Yeah, we see it daily in our lives. The blue pill guys fighting at the bar over a girl, and it's like, wow, you think like that is so weird.
I've seen it firsthand.
Yeah, and then the way the white knights jump in, and it's like, wow, it's like, that is so weird that you think like that. It's like, but that's how they need to be deprogrammed from that, and they say, oh, well, Mgtow's a cult. And I'm like, wait, dude, look, you should see what you people look like to us. You look like cults. You're the very typical example of a cult.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, wow. It's but they're
It's
projecting
like
it.
mind blown.
Yeah, they're violent. They want that split V. They that's the only thing they're going for, and they're white knighting. They're
Yeah,
gynocentric. Every decision they make
violence,
is absurd,
violence, and censorship.
violent. And then they
Right?
call us. It's like you MGTOWs are
And
wrong.
then they call us. I know. Then they call us violent, and
Yeah,
then they say, "Oh, no, you're nothing but an isolated group."
yeah,
Well,
nothing but a nice lady. Yeah, I've never known the whole time I've been in here. I've never known a MGTOW that was violent, and I've never known a MGTOW that got AIDS, and I never known
yeah,
and I've never
exactly.
known a MGTOW that I think one or two MGTOWs over probably a million guys that I've seen have went to jail.
Probably something that doesn't.
And it doesn't
Well,
involve MGTOW or something, It's like
yeah,
they say, "Oh, I've never known a MGTOW that actually hit a woman." They don't get involved with those things. How could they? If you're doing MGTOW, how could you get involved with those things? How would that ever happen?
yeah.
It's like
Because
Jesus.
it happen on a normal basis? Like you just like living your life and going day to day. It's like you would never get into that
You'll
situation
never be in that
where
situation.
where you even had a chance of even doing that.
Yeah. It's like MGTOW is the best thing that could ever happen to a man, and then most of them, like I was talking about last week, what good things do MGTOWs do? We do a lot of good things. I mean, there's a lot
Well,
of good in this unit, and they hate us for all that good.
Mgtow saved me. It was Mgtow and the small group of guys that I was hanging around with. Like you're one of them. If it was for you guys, I would have been dead right now.
Yeah, I remember when you first came around. It was we were like us all. We were all bad shape and thinking things that weren't were like, how was I going to get this back?
I
How was
was I was still going through it. I was still finding out information about how bad it was. And like thank God I found out about you guys or found out about Mgtow before I fully found out the whole truth about my problem. Right?
yeah,
Because if it was for that, I would have jumped from 11-story building.
Johnny said he
Or
spent
actually 11-story balcony, sorry.
Johnny said he spent a month in the joint, and then he shanked somebody, and then he monk slapped the warden, and then they let him out.
That makes sense.
I'm just kidding. uh,
Still
hello,
makes sense.
Whiskers. Hello, Whiskers. Whiskey and Eric and Milk Apple, and hello, guys.
Cause, yeah,
Now,
because honestly, like after that moment, it's like it's like I spent like maybe a year or so trying to find out what the reason why was.
yeah, I remember
Once
going.
I understood, it's like okay, I see how it is now.
Yeah, yeah. That's like all of us. All of us have those things that we don't understand. I mean, the blue pill is like poison. You don't know you've been poisoned, and if you don't know you've
Yeah,
been poisoned, you don't know what that is. You can't identify it. Once you know what that poison is, you can start fixing it.
yeah,
It's like that's the way it is. But in my situation, it's more like I was poisoned. But you don't know you've been poisoned when you get poisoned. It's like there's a million things that are running through your head, and then somebody asking you why you're acting like you are or why this is happening. It's impossible because you don't know why.
it's impossible to say. It's
It's
impossible to
impossible.
say. It's like
Yeah,
what's affecting you.
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
what's that thing that's happened? I don't know. I don't know. That's what I was. It's that feeling, that excitement when you first get around here. It's like I don't know what's wrong. I keep doing this thing wrong, but you were lied to your whole life. That's where it starts.
yeah. And like for a lot of us guys, because like I'm in my 40s right now, and like uh, this stuff, this program, and this corruption of the government, everything has been going on even before I was
Oh,
born. There's not many people alive that been through like a different time where actually no. Listen, anybody who's still alive, unless you're like 150 years old, I had to deal with some kind of form of 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 this nonsense.
Yeah, you see it all around you. But the realization of this thing is, even back in the 1800s, things weren't like they were now. Men would, a woman had to be loyal, or else if a man found out, he'd
Yeah,
just walk away.
yeah,
Go, okay.
because there were checks and balances
Yeah, there was
within
checks and
society.
balances to that. There was, she knew that he was the bread and butter. He was the, you know, he was the guy
So
that,
like, okay, sorry for interrupting, but unless the guy was doing something really bad to a
right,
woman, right? Like really abusing, not just like just
right.
all these nonsense abuse that they have now,
Yeah.
right? Really abusing a woman. If
Oh,
that
yeah.
happened like many centuries ago, you know what? That guy would have been dealt with, right?
Yeah, he would have
But
been dealt
now it's like any little thing. If the woman's not happy in the little tiniest
with.
piece, she could walk away and take everything from the guy
Yeah.
and ruin his name.
Yeah, that's why
And then afterwards, he can't get a job anymore.
yeah, that's why
Nobody would want to date him anymore or whatever,
I remember
right?
searching for the words when we first came around. Hypergamy was a word we were searching for because we didn't know, there wasn't these words that we have to describe those things. And it was
Mm-hmm.
hyper. We were like, man, it's like they're in hyperdrive now compared to the early West, and compared to, it's like women are in hyperdrive. They're hyper this, they're hyper that. It's like they got that
Always
hyper
looking for the next
gambit.
best option.
Yeah. And nowadays it's all women are hyper sensitive to everything. They're hyper emotional. They're hyper everything, and they can use that long arm of the law on you in a second. That's the silver bullet. It's like they're hyper in that too.
Yeah, because trust me, it's like I've talked to like women casually like throughout the years, and like even after like before and after I was
Yeah,
Mgtow, right?
you got to.
And
It's the world we live.
and okay, but yeah, I talk to these women, and like the same thing always comes up. It's like in their mind they always think that the grass is always greener on the other side. This is like the one of the key tenets of our hypergamy.
Hmm.
It's like they're always looking for something better than where they are now or what they have now.
Yeah,
Right? They're never satisfied. It's
yeah,
like even if you, like, if I was the guy who was running the entire earth, right? I had control all the property in the earth, all the money in the earth, right?
hmm,
And I was with this one woman. She wouldn't be satisfied with that.
she would be
It's
satisfied.
like, you know what? It's like, why don't you have the moon? Why don't you have Mars as well?
I was looking at a really good example of that in a theater. Did you watch the new Dracula series?
No,
Okay, at the
I don't
end,
watch a lot of TV anymore.
it's the third series. I was trying to look at it for I watch it, but I ended right at that point. Dracula goes forward 123 years in time, and he's sitting in this kind of normal house like mine, and there's a woman in there, and he just killed her husband, and he just drank her. But he's watching the TV, and he's like, he looks at her, and he goes, "Are you really rich? Are you wealthy?" And she goes, "No." And he goes, "Look at this. This is fabulous. Everything is, kings of my age would dream about this." And then
Hmm.
she goes, "No, I live in a dump." And then he goes, "Oh, I didn't think that technology would normalize good living."
Yeah, I know, which a lot of people have right now.
Yeah, women are they could be living in this and think this is a dump. It's like, no, this is really good. we live in the best time ever,
Ever.
ever. And women still, they're hyperdrive. They're looking for something better. Like my mother used to do. She says, "Isn't there any other kind of meat?" It's like,
It's like, what do you want? It's like like there's venison, there's
yeah,
beef,
yeah,
there's
that's what I used to
pork,
do. I said, "I can
there's
get you
like
any kind
fish.
of meat there is,
It's like
venom."
what other kind of meat out there is there?
Yeah, she's like, oh, I just don't want any of that. Because she's been eating it so long in her life. She's like, there's got to be some other kind of meat. It's like, no, it's pretty good. You
Yeah,
can have
but
chicken, you can have rabbit, you can have venison, buffalo. I said, I can get you buffalo. Never
when
before in life could
I
you have.
know, I know, I know, I know, but when you eat every kind of meat that there is
Yeah,
possible, it's like there's no other meat that you can get,
yeah.
but I'm
There's
still
no other
looking
kind
for
of
it.
meat that you can get. That's why hypergamy is so stupid. It's like there's not that other thing out there that you're not going to have. It's just this, and this is pretty much the same for everybody. And it's how you make it. If you want to have a good relationship, you have a good relationship. But most women don't have no clue how to make a relationship good anymore
Yeah.
because it's always looking for that next best thing. Like Don, like Matthew McConaughey is going to walk by and start showering her with money. It's like, right. Yeah, that's going to happen. You keep looking for that. That might happen. To like one girl. There's still like 2, 3, 4 billion of yous. You have to share Matthew McConaughey with. It's
It's like,
stupid. And just be
like
happy in
men,
life. It's always thought
that's
the
right.
Wigtow, like the Wigtow would have worked out if it was given a chance.
No, it wouldn't. No.
No,
No.
the Wigtow would have worked out. I always had.
No,
Well, you know what? I had
no, it would.
hope.
No, no. Wait.
I had
Sorry,
hope that
sorry.
it would
Go ahead.
work out because women would start like, oh man, I'll just be like a Mgtow and just be happy with what I am.
Yeah, it sounds like feminism actually.
But then hypergamy and gynocentrism jump in, and it's like, no, they biologically they can't be happy.
They can't. It's like even okay because there's one YouTuber is lesbian, right?
That the ape guy.
Don't shoot me. No, don't shoot me. Don't shoot me. Right? There's one lesbian that I watch her stuff. She did something about MGTOW, right? That's how she got onto my radar.
Okay.
And yeah, so like he was in a relationship with this other woman, and then after she did the video about MGTOW, she was she was actually complaining about, oh, this other girl is like, all she do is she's just like draining everything off me and all that stuff. It's like she has to work and the other one's not working, and oh, I didn't say in the comment to her at all, right? But like I said to myself, it's like, oh, now you know how men feel.
Now you know how men feel. I think I remember that comment by you. I think you posted. It's like now you know how
No, I didn't post it. I didn't post it.
you posted. Okay.
No, I didn't post it because I actually I made a post, but it was like actually a real. It was a long post, so like it was a paragraph or like 2 paragraphs worth, and I didn't want to be rude or anything like that, take it out of context or anything like that, right? I wanted her to see what I had to say,
Hmm.
and like you know what, like she agreed with me too, right? But the thing is, like you know what, it would still happen, right? You get into any kind of relationship, you know, there's always going to be some kind of dynamic, right? And at some point, one person is going to be like the beast of burden who has to do everything, and the other person doesn't have to do anything. And what it is that okay, men always were the beast of burden.
Oh yeah, yeah. We're all these.
They always got the things done, and then you had the other side was just have a leash. Actually no, they didn't have a leash. Sorry, my mistake. They didn't always have a leash.
Yeah,
Now they have a leash,
yeah.
and they're telling you work harder, do more, or else I'll put you to death.
Yeah, yeah. The slave mentality.
And we shouldn't be like that. It's
Yeah,
like honestly, it's like I
that's the male
would
utility.
like to see.
The male utility says you're going to do this for our society, or we're gonna ostracize you and put you to death. You have to go galt then because if you don't do what we say and give us your utility, and us MGTOWs are like, no, the male utility should earn us something, and it shouldn't be given to others like it's a slave right. for them to have that.
Yeah. Nobody deserves our labor or
Nobody
our
deserves our
time
labor.
or
Yeah,
our
nobody
money,
gets a slave.
right? Just the same way that's like we don't deserve, or like as men we don't deserve to have sex all.
Right. Yeah, that's the
From
biggest lesson, that it's not an entitlement. That's not if they don't want to do that, that's fine. That's their choice. Yes means yes, no means no. I
yeah,
100% agree with that. When I see a Mgtow arguing against that, I think you're not a Mgtow. That's her choice, 100%. That's her utility. And
yeah.
your utility is what? Guard your utility just the same way. We're not hypocrites here.
Because like my biggest problem is when there's agreement made
Yeah,
where okay, you do one thing, I do another, we come together as one and we stick together. You
right.
know what?
There's agreements that are made
Fine,
with those things
right?
that are
But then
broken by
when
the
one side
Constitution.
breaks their agreement, when one side breaks their agreement, and we know which side I'm talking about, right? When one side breaks their agreement in some way, that's where I have major problems. And the thing is,
Right.
when that one person makes their like, I'm not even saying any genders here, but when one side breaks their agreement and they have everybody behind them,
Right.
right?
Gynocentrism.
That's the problem.
That,
Well, actually, not the only problem. That's the major problem. It's part of it.
right.
Like you understand what I'm talking about, right?
Right. There was an agreement. This is for this. This is, I'm going to do my part. You're going to do your part. What other part? That's a personal thing to each person. It's like, you know, uh, what work you do, what this is. And I never failed on my part of the agreement. If it was taken before court and looked at in a rational way, they would say, no, Joe, you didn't fail in your part of the agreement. She decided to change the agreement. That's not right.
Yeah. Um, do me a favor. I'll be back in a minute. Go on the
Okay.
mall out for a second.
You're gonna bomb out for a minute, okay? Okay. Rick's gonna be back in a few minutes, and I'm gonna take over my podcast and talk a little bit. Yeah, there's a lot of good points today about gynocentrism and hypergamy, about the way they work, and about ooh, there's that little bug again. Jesus. Uh, and the inherent biases within our system. That's the things that we talk about. We're talking about inherent biases. There's inherent biases of traditionalism, conservatism. The tradcon is the worst thing in the world for MGTOWs, and we've lost that over the years here now. I see a lot of these tradcons trying to bring that into MGTOW, like we just want to get the women back into the 50s and get them back naked in front of the stove. No, man, that's an expectation. That's telling on your entitlement. You think you deserve that. You think you're entitled to that. You're not. Uh, but in those things, they work out in that agreement, and whatever the agreement, the social norms and the agreements are at that time become the laws. And our laws right now tell a lot about our society, and the social norms and agreements that are being made are just bizarre. They're absurd. Like I say, no one gets a slave, and your male utility, as long as you work up to the day you die, pretty much most males, some of them will become disabled, and they will become part of that disabled class that are like Incel or TFL or something. But in that, they should be protected the same way as a disabled person should be protected. But those laws get violated too. You see 86, 89% of people on the streets, their rights weren't protected in that way. That's gynocentrism acting itself out. That's what, because they don't have the utility no more, but they did, in a Maoist universe, they did do their 30 years on the farm and everything, 20 years on the farm, so they should be protected. But as soon as you start violating these small arrangements like that, it screws up society, and that's the screwed up, absurd society that we see right now coming out. And it's like, man, no, now the male utility in the proletariat, and is sort of the proletariat, the male utility, the value of it gets minimalized and it gets given to somebody else, because you have to do that. You have to work for these people. You have to, your skills as a technician are less paid. It's less valuable. And even, the divorce industry is upheld by billionaires and millionaires and the economic system, because it holds up the economic system, because men can't just take their utility and walk away like Mgtows have, because they don't want that to happen. We were tapping off of that, and now another guy. That's like when I say baby daddy number 2, he comes and lives in the house, and he's depending on baby daddy number 1 to give baby mama the male utility money, so he can sit around lazily on a couch. No, that's what way back in the day. I can't remember. Don't F the baby mamas. Don't go around that, because you're a big part of the problem. You're stealing the male utility from another man. You're a part of the problem when you do that. It's like, but you see the guys, the purple pill guys are like, oh, I would date a single mama with another kid. No, some other guy's utility is paying for that. You're stealing from that. You're sitting on his couch eating his food. You're making him a slave. And that's the thing that most people don't understand about this. It's like, it's not jealousy or emotions that are taking over. I will not be made a slave. I will not have another guy sitting around on my couch eating my kid's food and pretending like, oh, you need to get more from this sucker over here because he's just our slave. What do you think, Brett?
Yeah, because like either that, or it's like the last in line pays everything.
Yeah, we've fallen far from the
I know. So if a man's trapped in paying for stuff that he shouldn't be paying for right. Children that he can't even see, why should there be another guy involved
in that house? He's paying for that whole situation. He's paying for that food, and he's paying that next guy to lay around with his wife in his bed that he paying for. No, bullshit. Yeah. That's bullshit.
And then even still, it's like in some situations, the other guy, the last in line, has to pay for every one of the kids involved, right? Because maybe the father's just period or whatever. The mother gets them to do there's a whole bunch of different scenarios that could happen.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. There's a whole bunch of ways that happens. We used to laugh. I tell almost every podcast I have, I tell about the baby mom up the street on a Friday night. Me and my friend used to just watch and laugh, because all 4 baby daddies would show up at the same time, and they
that's funny.
And they would argue, and then at one point, every baby daddy, he was the next best thing. He always thought he was the next best thing, and he would buy into that slavery to the baby daddy number 1. Baby daddy 2 would be laying around with her, and he's like, oh man, I'm the man, I'm taking care. And then he became the next best thing, and I tried to explain it to him one day, and they all got mad at me and everything. I was, why you guys always laugh at us? I says, oh, you were the next best thing. You were that next daddy save-a-hole. You didn't care about him. Now you're him. You're in his shoes.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, now you see it. But they're a bunch of delusional betas, and it's like, oh my God. It's like every one of those guys like made this thing happen, and this big ugly thing that was happening in our society, they were part of it because they wanted that. That is that right there.
And what about the children?
Yeah, what about the children?
Would somebody think about the children?
Would someone think about the Someone would have been thinking about the children.
Nobody's thinking about the children.
They would have gave the first father the children and said, hey, let her go do her thing because she's just screwing up society.
You know what? That could work. I could get on board with that. But you know what? That doesn't happen.
That doesn't happen. No, that's right. 50-50.
There's rare cases. There's rare cases where a father would get a child. Like I know, okay, I know one guy personally,
Yeah.
or not personally, online, sorry, that has custody of his children. But you know,
How bad a woman has
that's like the rare.
yeah.
That's a rare example, and like you know how bad the mother has
Yeah,
to
you
be
know how
in order for
horrible a
that to
person
happen.
that a mother has to be to lose her motherhood. Fatherhood gets taken with the swipe of a pen. Motherhood,
Yes.
to lose that, you got to be a horrible person. But that's another violation of one of our rules. I said there's no such thing as fatherhood. That's a social construct. You can take
Yeah.
that with like a slash of a pen. You can take that away from them.
Because even still, like even still, sorry to interrupt, but even still, it's like you know, it's like a lot of fathers don't even know that they're even the father of their own children.
Yeah, and most of them don't even know. Yeah,
She could have cooked them. She could have cooked them.
yeah.
She could have got pregnant from someone else, and then the one quote unquote father is raising a child. He thinks it's his, but it's not his.
That's not his. No. And that's natural too. Males do not question those things. That's what sexual crypt is. We've all been pre-programmed. We
Yeah.
all been pre-cucked by sexual cryptness. We all think we're the fathers. We all have that in us. You don't think that you do that way? You do it every day. You see a kid walking towards the street, you stop and go, "Hey, get back in your yard." That's not your kid. You didn't have to stop. Get back in your
Well,
yard. You don't walk out in the street. You're going to get killed. It comes
you
out.
know,
You can't control it.
you know that's true because you know actually I was talking to some guys earlier about the same thing. It's like you know what? Honestly, at this point here, it's like you know what? I still want to protect the children because honestly, the children they're the innocent ones. They don't have the guidance or whatever, right?
But we have a perfectly good system to take care of the kids. We have a perfectly good system to take care of the women and everything. We have a perfectly good system if men would just start understanding what sexual cryptis is.
No, but you still, it doesn't help the children. I don't think so.
Does it help the children?
I don't think it helps the children.
No, not having
What
a
helps
father
us?
around doesn't help the children.
Okay, what, in my opinion, this is my opinion
That's
only. I'm
the
not saying
argument
anything
you're
about
making.
because of Mgtow or whatever, right? This is my opinion only, right? My opinion is that for children should have the mother and father around while they're growing up, at least until they're teens.
Yeah, that's a traditional opinion. That's what the church would argue. That's what a lot of the traditional conservatives argue. I don't see it that way. The women are 100% responsible for they're the mother. It came out of them. They made it.
Yes, of course. Yeah, I agree with that. Yes.
And like I said, fatherhood could be taken away with the swipe of a pen. I mean, in that sexual, once us men start realizing this is what should be taught, because once us men start realizing this, we'll start fighting the system. We'll stop fighting the system, do away with the marriage system, do away with the divorce court system. No man gets a wife. Marriage is the first rule of Mgtow is marriage is bullshit. And if we do that, and then whoever the father is, I don't care who the father is. If I don't want to be father, I don't have to be father.
So let me ask you a serious question then.
Okay.
What do you think we could do or we could change in order to make
that's one thing we could change. We get rid of, you know how much it costs to keep those big buildings, those divorce courts running, those
yeah, billions of dollars. Yes, I know.
Billions and billions and billions. It would be 1/3 the cost to run it in a system of sexual crispus where no man is asked who's the father. We just put it in a post office and if she needs money to take care of the kids, she types in her name, her social security number, how much she made, and that's all.
But isn't that what's happening right now though? But
no, you have what's called the social fact. There's a system that eats off of that system. There's hundreds of thousands of people that rely on that system for a job. And it doesn't need to be that way. It's a social fact that it goes up to the government. They take whatever they want and then they trickle it down to the women's. That's where we're getting had right there. You got to do away with that system. Put it in your post office or your library would be better because there's books in there and make them smarter. But you put it in the library, you sign up, If you need assistance, you get assistance. If you don't need assistance, the computer will tell you you don't need assistance. And that does away with all the big buildings. It does away with all the extra work. It does away with all that cost. That would cost us 1/3 of the money. And the system,
Cover the government.
the natural biological system of sexual cryptis is fulfilled. But there are no fathers in that system.
No.
And that's when feminism, be the best girl you can be. I want you to be 100%. I want you to have everything you want, and I want you to better earn that. But you have to be responsible. Stop spreading your legs. You're responsible for that baby that you made. It's not some dude impregnated you anymore. It's not some dude's fault. You made that decision.
Because like the point I was trying to get across was that children, as they're growing, they do need a father figure as well, and a mother figure. Like,
No,
okay,
they need a
the
male
mother
mentor
figure.
figure. That's a different thing. They don't need a father.
See, I know. Okay, maybe we're a little bit conflicted with that.
No, you're buying into the old father thing. The old father thing is what gets us in trouble.
Okay, well, you know what? You're right. You know what? Actually, you're 100% right.
Yeah, I'm 100% right. It's like,
Right.
that bad thinking. That's bad thinking. That's based on a lie too. It's final fictionalism to think you're a father. You're not a father. You'll never be a father. They made that up. It's a social construct.
Because the way I was thinking is like you'll care more about your children than someone else's children. That's the way I was thinking.
You can take care of, in my system, in my perfect system, you could take care of the children. That would be appreciated. And all men could take care of the children, and that would be appreciated. But it's not a rule.
I know that's another thing I was asking some of my other guys, but we never got an answer on that.
You could be rewarded for that too. Do they reward fathers for being fathers?
Not really.
No. If you're a father in my system, if you're a father, if you take to choose that male mentor figure father thing, you would be rewarded for it. You'd be given the jobs. You'd be a better man then. But in this system, fathers are discarded. It's a fake thing, and we have the same system now, but it's just that peak, that we go back to that peak, triangle peak again. The government's stealing from you. Altruism should go straight to the poor.
Yeah. But it doesn't.
But it doesn't. It gets picked apart by Health and Human Services. They pay themselves with that. They live in those big buildings. They give themselves $100,000 raises in cars. Why do you think it costs so much?
Yeah.
It's them. It's the social fact. You guys got to read Durkheim's Social Fact. That's what's wrong with our society. There should be no man's a father, but he could choose to help. He could choose to altruism. I was like, man, I guess so. I know it's a hard, complex idea to understand, and that's why I always try to teach sexual cryptis first. It's like once you understand that, you understand, like, okay, now look at how this broadly goes out into our society, how we got it so screwed up. That's where we screw it up. They're doing it all wrong. And it's because we got greedy people, not because it shouldn't be right, because the system should be right. The system's good. It's the greedy people within the system that make you into a slave, Rick, that will make me into a slave. People we have to rebuke. It's like Hannah Arendt was saying with Eichmann. You can kill Eichmann. That doesn't mean anything. You know who's really at blame? Those 30,000 little workers that stamp the stamp and send it on.
Yeah.
That's the system. That's the people that work for the government that they get
paid. That's true. Yes.
They're the evil ones.
More guns.
Yeah. I think we are done. I think
No, yeah.
yeah,
We need more guns. Yeah, I think we're done.
yeah, we're done. We need more guns. I don't want this thing that you know we can we can teach out of this. We can be these teachers. We can be these MGTOWs that tell people that's wrong, man. There's no such thing as father. Man, you guys are thinking about that all wrong. We got to start preaching that. But I can't get these cucks to preach that because they want to be. You know why they want to be that? You know why they want to be a slave? It's a slave mentality.
Yep.
Right there. Right there.
It's no point speaking.
Because they're making that little woman into a whore. That's wrong. Oh. That's wrong.
They don't even realize they're doing
it. They don't even realize they're doing it. And then they'll argue, oh, feminism's so wrong. No, feminism got you guys nailed sometimes. Don't be what they say you are. And then those guys be what they say they are.
Yeah.
They're cucks. They're white knights. There's simps. There's beggars. There's cackling hyenas. That's why we have all those names. And every time one of those guys come around, you know they fit the mold of one of them because our detractors, they fit the mold of one of those, either a simp, a white knight, a cuck, because they get incensed by us saying it. And they know they're wrong. They know this system sucks.
Because honestly, I don't even know if they think it's even wrong.
Well, honestly, yeah, it's like if they got that's why I say most of them don't have the IQs to realize that.
So what can you do from there? What should we do from there?
We have to teach.
Yeah, well, that's the one thing. It's like we got to keep teaching.
Yeah.
It's like regardless if we think anybody's listening, it's like somebody's going to be listening.
Someone's going to be listening.
Even if there's only one person we reach. You know what?
Someone's going to learn something. Somebody might actually listen to one of my videos one day and learn something.
Yeah.
But I'm going to get censored because the whole world doesn't want that harsh reality to come down on them.
Hey, like I'm waiting for that day too. It's like when I get censored as well. It's like, you know, when I get censored, everybody's already censored.
Yeah, I mean, those traditionalites, those traditional conservatives, they will kill you to silence you because they like their slaves. They like their women as whores. And that's a horrible person.
Yes, it is.
Conservatism starts with a bias too, and that's what the hard part about this thing. Conservatism is a bias. It's the bias of when you're confronted with an unfriendly observation of like what Joe's saying, you disregard it and say it's wrong, even though it's the truest thing in the whole world.
Yes.
That's conservative. That's the conservative bias. You can look it up. It's Googleable. Trav looks like our father. I was going to go for the Jesus look today. But I figured the God would be better for me.
I know. Actually, your beard is growing me a lot nicer than mine. My beard goes all over the place.
I just shaved it off, a couple months ago, and it just grew back.
No, same here, but my beard didn't grow back as nicely. Like it's still growing. It's still growing.
Yeah.
But for me, it takes a longer time.
I gotta see you one day with that. See your big beard. You can have like a Hoka beard.
I wish.
Why does Steve shave that beard off? He's got a great beard. He can do an Elvis.
He should.
He should do.
But you know, that's his choice too, right?
Yeah. I'm like, Hoka, wear that beard. Do an Elvis. Hoka can do an Elvis. Not a lot of guys can do an Elvis.
Yeah. Honestly, I can't. My hair goes like my hair is like my beard is like afro.
Yeah, does it come down all the way from the hairline? Like Elvis?
No.
That's a great.
Let me say this again. Because maybe you didn't understand. My beard is like afro. Right?
Okay.
So it goes like straight out, and it goes like wherever it wants to go.
Yeah, it goes
right. So like it doesn't come nicely down or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like even if I comb it, it's like there's gonna be hair sticking out all over the place.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I understand.
That's why I can't really grow my beard too big because like it's just gonna look like
The beard oil. You
it
need.
look like I have an afro on my beard on my chin.
Who was it? That the one guy that used to come around. He's like the beard oil. You need the beard oil.
Um, listen, if the beard oil would work for me,
Yeah, I think the
I'll be
beard
buying
oil
that shit,
would
and that'll be the best
he
thing
had
to
that problem
possible.
too. He
But
was.
it doesn't work. It doesn't work for me at all
It doesn't work for you like that. It just keeps going out.
because I know it just keeps going out, but it feels soft though.
Oh, you look like Stump Williams. He's got a great beard. Stump. Stump. What's his name? The running backs coach for the Cleveland Browns.
But the beard is just like poofing out. Poof.
He looks like Santa Claus on steroids. Stump. You got to look him up. Stump something. Just Stump Cleveland.
Stump with Cleveland. Yeah, I'll look it up.
Look at him.
He's
got a great beard.
That's what I want. That's what I want. I want a nice full beard, just like nice and thick, couple inches long, even coming down right to my chest, man.
Yeah, that's one of the hypocrisies of life too. The beard is a secondary sexual characteristic of a male. And they make us shave it off.
Yeah. They make us shave it off. Yes.
It's like, man, that's bigotry and gender, racial hate right there. It's like the women you shouldn't have a beard. It's like the beard.
You try to go through
characteristic of a man. You're one of the very characteristics that make us men, and you make us shave it off.
You're trying to go for a job interview with a full beard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're not going to call you back.
Yeah. Oh, my sister tried that on me. She's like, "Oh, you look like a bum." I was like, "I don't care. This is it. It's like this is the secondary sexual characteristic of a man, and you're not supposed to like me."
Because a bum can afford to buy a razor and cut that hair off for your approval. It's like honestly, it's like listen, this is the same thing with this whole alpha beta thing.
Yeah.
Right. When we guys talk about this, it's like all that is just like how women view men, right?
Yeah.
It's not about the actual man.
It's not about the actual
man.
Right. But they're looking for.
So why are people concerned about being an alpha or a beta or whatever? Right?
Yeah, it's just,
be a man. Be yourself.
Women are looking for sexually diverse characteristics in a man. That's what makes an alpha. That means he's not retarded. He doesn't have Down syndrome. He is facial.
Yes, okay.
Or okay. He's normal. He talks normal. He talks okay. And after that, it's just personal preference. Beauty is just the mind looking at the mind.
Okay.
As soon as there's no characteristics which say you got low diversity, like autistic or them are character problems of low diversity. And it's like as soon as that, it's like every male is whatever female thinks that is beautiful in a male. And this is what Steve is right about a lot of some things.
Yeah, well, he actually
is. Some women are going to think I'm handsome. Some women are going to think you're handsome. It's just their mind. The beauty is just the mind looking at the mind and deciding what is beautiful on their own. The way I say this, like, you got any friends that are chubby chasers? Probably
not that I know.
3? Come on. Everybody's got a friend that's a chubby chaser.
Yeah, like I said, not that I know personally because, and I don't hang around with a lot of
and those
friends
are I've got in my lifetime, I know 3 guys that are chubby chasers, and all 3 of those guys were thin, tall, and good looking. Why they liked heavy women was beyond me. But that's beauty. That's their idea of beauty. Women are like that too. You have no idea what a woman likes. It could be anything.
Yeah.
men
So,
internalize.
so why are you trying to make yourself to be beautiful to women when even still, it's like even if you have everything, you have all your ducks in a row, and even still you don't get anything.
You still might not get anything. It's the alpha beta
Right?
thing is
The
just
better thing, the better thing is to focus on your own self.
right. Focus on your
Don't
own.
worry about anything else.
Don't worry about it. As long as you're a normal guy, you have normal chances of. Since we're going to go into the PUA thing, you have normal chances. You never know. The best thing to
No,
do,
let's not go to this POA thing. 'Cause I don't want to talk about POA.
yeah, the best thing. I'll finish it up with this. The best thing to do is know yourself, and then you know what you like, and you know that likes you, and that to give you the best chances. After that, it's all absurd in the world. Women, man, a really nice looking woman could like a heavy dude, and you'll have no idea why.
But like honestly, like it doesn't matter because
Yeah,
that nice looking woman could get with that chubby guy, and then years later,
she's gonna
she's
say,
gonna take him for everything that he had or everything that he built in his life,
right,
and
right,
she's gonna ruin him.
and she's gonna ruin him, no matter how good or whatever.
So I don't know what
Yeah,
people are chasing.
Alphas too. Like you could be the alphaist male in the room, and a couple years down the line, she's gonna want to move on.
Find some other alpha.
Yeah, and that's the hypergamy. It never could be fulfilled, and she's going to move on, and that's why most alphas will end up being those guys that are. Most alphas will end up being the guys that are PUA, Mgtow, MRAs, and because they've seen it, they're like, man, I don't know, I did nothing wrong.
Yeah, I know that's true. You did nothing wrong.
I did nothing
Why
wrong.
you getting screwed? Who knows? She knows.
I mean, you got to be a real simp and a real cuck, a real beggar to keep a woman for any kind of time. I mean,
That's true.
You'll have to fulfill every one of those unreasonable needs.
Either that or she has no other choice that she can branch off to.
Yeah. And that's the traditional conservatives. They're I call them cuck-servatives because they all end up cucking at a certain point to her. They're going to be simps. They're going to cuck.
They have to.
They have to. They know it, and they'll do it, and they'll run you over, and they'll throw other men under the bus, and they'll act the vicious libertarian ideas. But that's it. How long are we on? 2:37. Okay.
Go ahead, wrap it up, man.
I'm going to wrap this thing up and get it. Thanks for coming on today, Rick. I often love discussion.
No problem. Because it's like, man, back in the days, like sometimes somebody has to jump on.
Yeah. I know I'm a hard guy to deal with. I mean, I know that's why people don't jump in because I am a hard guy.
And I remember back when you used to jump on other people's stream. I remember back then, and I was just like lurking and watching.
Yeah,
don't worry about that
because then I don't have to like I have to hold back sometimes when I jump into somebody else's stream. I don't have to hold back. I can give them the full Joe.
Yeah. Now you can do that, no problem.
Yeah, I mean,
I remember like years ago, many years ago, man.
Yeah, you're gonna get the full trap.
I've been around. I've been around for a while, so.
Yeah, I have to ask him. You really want this? You want the full trap?
Yeah, because man.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Andy, you got anything last? You wanna? You got your?
No. You go ahead and you wrap things up.
Okay. Like always, guys, thanks for coming around. Thanks for just showing up here and everything like you do, and showing up at the Mgtow Zone and the Manosphere here, and most of all, just thanks a lot for being Mgtows.